Welcome back, Nuggets. This mother clucker's got some thoughts. Let's ruffle some feathers and get into this live stream. Hello, Marshmallow. Hello, Fire Rabbit. Hi, Zenith. Hello. Hi, everybody. Do I sound okay? I have overhauled my setup a little bit, and hopefully it removes some of that breaking up that I was experiencing last time. The suspense. I'm so sorry. I had to go make myself a tea. I have a special vocal tea that keeps me nice and smooth. Hey, Dead Not Sleeping. Hey, Modern. Hello, Sarah. Hello. Kidding, sounds good. I am glad. Awesome. How is everybody today? I noticed that I'm going live at the same time as Charlie Gold, and I try so hard to avoid the schedules of the bigger channels, but I think I'm just getting to the point where I can't avoid them because my schedule will only allow me to stream at certain times of day, and between the bigger channels, I think they pretty much stream all the way through those time slots. So, but I'm so grateful that everybody's here. That, hey, you know what's cool, right? Not to say that Charlie Gold is not cool. I'm good, thanks, Zenith. If you guys were in my previous stream where I went through what's happening at the moment, I just want to make a little bit of a note that that is still on the table for today. So we'll work around it if anything happens, but hopefully not, because nothing happened last time either. The chickens are really good today. It's a really nice day and they're enjoying the weather. You wouldn't miss this? Oh, thank you. I have a lot to go through, and I'm kind of developing a bit of a format for how I want to run my live streams. And if you notice, the thumbnail has two background colors. I thought I could kind of highlight who I'm going to be covering in the stream based on, you know, whatever the colors are showing. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, there's been a lot of talk about this lawsuit, and Amber Lynn. It's a good thumbnail. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you like the color coding. I like it too. I like to color code everything. I think it just makes it easier to like search through if you're looking for something in particular, and yeah, so. Okay, so let's have a chat about this lawsuit. So what I thought we could do, I have notes. I am an organized mother clucker. What I kind of thought we could do is, if you have any questions as we go along, because there's so much misinformation out there about this lawsuit, and it's driving me up the wall. If there is something that is going to kick off a rant, it's the amount of misinformation, considering that, like, there's one channel in particular that I'm looking at as the culprit, because it was the first big channel that reported on it that didn't credit me and gave out the wrong information. So, little pissy about that. But just before we get into it, at the end of my last live stream, like right as I was hitting end stream, a super chat came through and I felt so bad for missing it. So thank you so much to Petty Slag. I hope I can say slag on YouTube. That's a term. Super chatted and said, I'm going to start a reaction channel. And that's awesome. You do you. I think that's great. They're a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm hoping that my mouse movements don't come up too much on my microphone. I'm looking at getting it a boom arm so that you can't hear my desk movements. I'm slowly upgrading my setup as we go. So what am I looking for? You just finished my latest video on the lawsuit a few minutes ago. It is an intriguing case. It's becoming a little bit of a hyperfixation for me. So we all know that, getting fancy with it, yeah, because clearly people like hearing what I have to say, so I would like to make it as easy to listen to as I possibly can. So yeah, anyway, So we all know about this lawsuit regarding Eugenia, and Eugenia, unlike many other influencers or defluencers, has actually been mentioned by name specifically, and that is because she had a very public incident, right? So it's not at all saying that other influencers aren't on the table for evidence in this case. It's just that she's been a really kind of loud one. Sorry, one moment. You're really putting in the work. I don't see any other creators going quite so in depth. Oh, thank you, Fire Rabbit. It is what I endeavor to do. Hey, Fire Rabbit, actually, by the way, can I confess something to you? I thought, would I be correct in saying that you are a very forthright person who speaks their mind? I pride myself on reading people quite well, but sometimes it's difficult when all you're getting is text. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, see, I've got to read on you now. And I thought for the longest time you didn't like me, but I've picked up that it's just, you speak your mind, and I really like that about you. So I can trust that I get truth from you. I enjoy that. Okay, so yeah, that's my confession. But you like my stuff. It's all good. But yeah, I do think accuracy is important, and I do think research is important. And I do, to a point, get it, because reading these legal documents is not really a lot of fun. Hey, Porcelain. Hello, you're not too late. We're just getting started. And so I do understand why people don't want to read them. But if you're not going to read them, make sure you're going to get your information from a credible source, is what I have to say about that. So I did have a little bit of a rant surrounding Amber Lynn. So what I've got here, I'm hoping I've got everything up. I'll just get rid of Vera for a moment. One moment, there we go. So this is the hot topic with Amber Lynn at the moment and what's been happening. And I know my Eugenia people, I know you don't really necessarily care about Amber Lynn, but I'm bringing this up specifically because I do think it's part of the case. Oh, I was the first person you ever saw cover the case? Yes, because I was the first. No, that's wonderful. I love to hear that. Oh, you've got dinner. That's great. Fire Rabbit, you said, I love your channel. I don't always agree. Hey, yeah, absolutely. You don't always agree with all my opinions, but that's okay. It's good to see other perspectives. 100%. And I don't want people to just blindly agree with me. That's not what this channel is designed to do. But no, we're good. I've got to read. I really appreciate you deeply, Fire Rabbit. Thank you. You like both topics. Awesome. Dead Not Sleeping. So this here, I'm just going to, sorry if my keyboard's loud. I don't want to do an Amber Lynn on you guys. But I have a mechanical keyboard and it makes a lot of noise. So Amber has had, in the last week, quite a few videos removed. It says 43 here, but these numbers actually count to 44. The way Social Blade counts things is a little weird, and when things are reported, and just try to go with the flow here. So, and she's losing massive views. Hey Nick, hello. Just got home, you saw this, hello. I think she's lost 40, yeah, it's about 44 videos it is. And millions and millions of views. Now, I saw this yesterday and I'm like, oh, well, that's really interesting because her YouTube channel is still up. And what does this remind you of? An interesting kind of holding pattern. Now, people have correctly viewed that her join memberships button is missing. And we can actually see on Social Blade here, fully demonetized, fully. Although these numbers are usually wrong, it doesn't say 0 if you're monetized. Hey, Southern Squirrel Gaming. Hello, I like the name. I love reading your usernames, everyone. It's so much fun. Yep, fully demonetized. Hello, Amy from Australia. Hello back from Australia. You got to see that Amber got demonetized last night, or demonized. During, one of Pulpy Syntax's live stream. Yeah, so this has just happened, I believe. And if you look at, I just pulled up Foodie Beauty's channel so you can see there's usually a join button here. I need to, hang on, I just want to show my cursor so you guys can see what I'm pointing at. Capture cursor, yeah. There we go. You can see. Okay, so join. And Amber's clearly doesn't have that. She's got this new community, which, by the way, guys, if you haven't seen this, I have a community here now too. And you can actually type things in here. If it's a new thing that YouTube has introduced, and you can actually talk to me, but it is public. The only thing I've got on there is that I have to approve links if you put links in for obvious reasons. But yeah, in case you didn't know, that's there now. Anyway, so I found this interesting that Amber has been demonetized, but the channel's still there. And that kind of, to me, looked like a similar holding pattern that Eugenia's in, except that Amber went live last night. So that ruined my theory there. Yep, fully demonetized, like fully. The merch, everything is gone, everything. I believe that she's not even getting AdSense revenue, and we will have a look at this live stream, and she kind of goes ambiently into what she's doing. You're trying to catch up on all of the Amberlynn lore. My goodness, there's a lot. It's she's prolific with her nonsense. But yeah, so my first thought was, okay, this is likely to do with the lawsuit. Now, Amber is not specifically mentioned in the lawsuit like Eugenia is, but one thing that I will bring to your attention is I have so many windows open. Where is it? There. Okay. Make this bigger. So this is one of their legal documents defining what they consider as harm within this lawsuit. And I can't say this word, but do you see that? It is included along with this word, right? These conditions are all mentioned in this lawsuit. So this is absolutely part of it. Just catching up on messages. Sorry, one moment. Love all this for ALR. She earned all of the demonizing of her channel. A lot has happened. She is her own iceberg. Yes, she really is. It is poetic, Porcelain. I didn't put that together. Yeah, it is. It is pretty much the anniversary within a few days. Keep seeing you everywhere. I know, I recognize names from other live streams as well. I'm honored that you're here with me instead of with somebody, somebody else. I don't know. So it is possible that Amber is part of this lawsuit, maybe indirectly, but something else that I wanted to highlight. The major the major defendants, the four of them, so Meta, Snap, YouTube, well, Google, generally speaking, and TikTok. Fully just lost my train of thought. My goodness. Oh, I'm on a roll today. Oh, those four are under fire with this lawsuit, but it is worth remembering that that is not all that's going on in the world at the moment. So the EU and UK have already imposed major age restrictions on social media. And Australia, actually, within a couple of weeks, is about to do the same. Now, I'm not super fluent what the other countries are doing. I just know that there is a lot of restriction going on. Justice for rarity, yeah. ALR targets younger age groups, yes, and so does Eugenia, unfortunately. You're a long-time lurker in Girl World. Oh, awesome. TikTok is Meta, at least in the US. No, TikTok is ByteDance. TikTok is a separate entity to Meta. Yeah, so ID verification. So what Australia is actually doing, they were going to do exactly what the UK does, but I guess learned from that experience. And now what they're saying is that they are imposing on the social media companies themselves that they need to integrate age restriction within the actual software. If that makes sense. And that is kicking off on the 4th of December. So there is a lot of, between the UK, the EU, America, and Australia, these are 4 massive areas for these companies that are all putting pressure on them to protect the youth. Your oldies in the Amberverse. Yeah. I wasn't around back then, but I heard he was awesome. I came in when Geordie was covering Eugenia a lot, and that's how I learned about ALR. Oh, wow. Yeah. I actually found Geordie because of Eugenia as well, but I was already in Girl World. Michael B. Petty was the first reaction channel you ever watched. Wow, so that's going way back. Yeah. So I think in essence what's happening with Amber is she's not necessarily directly part of the lawsuit, but these 4 entities that are the defendants are getting quite risk adverse, and they're perhaps enforcing things that they weren't enforcing before. Now, I did hear some misinformation that, as far as I can tell, it is misinformation, because I'll show you, and that is that YouTube just updated their terms of service. They did not. But this is what people are referencing. I'll just make it bigger for you. So they did incorporate these words together under the one heading. I'm sure you can appreciate that I cannot say these words for obvious reasons. And they have a whole reporting system going on, and they have all of the numbers you can call should you feel affected. But they are part of the community guidelines. Now, this is not new. This came in 2023. So the actual terms themselves are not new. And I've been getting age restricted since May for content surrounding this kind of, realm, right? So this is not a new update, not by far. What is new is all of those exhibits. Let me see if I can find them for you. All of these updates that came through on the actual lawsuit on the, what was it, the 7th? Look at these. There's so many exhibits. Where is the giant pile I'm looking for? Okay, so here we go. So see, these are all exhibits. Everywhere where it says exhibits all being dumped, there are over 1,000 of them that went up on the 7th. All of them. There are so many of them. So that's on the 7th, right? And then a week later, we're seeing this happen. And I think that that's why it is indirect and it is linked, but probably not in the same way that Eugenia is. Does that make sense? Hi, Astarati. Thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate that. Thank you. You laughed so hard when he went live with the Mexican restaurant background. Oh, was he the one that did the emergency vet? Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So, yeah. So in essence, I think these companies are really getting like, we don't want a situation like TikTok has just had, because now a precedent has been set where the judge has said to TikTok, yes, you need to supply more discovery documents after the discovery period has ended. So that is a precedent that all these other companies are looking at going, oh, we don't want that to happen. We don't want to be dug into after the discovery period is over. We've already handed everything over and we don't want to hand over anything more. So what's happening, I think, is Amber is getting a lot of reports going onto her account. And I think now that there is this risk adverse behavior from these companies, they're just deleting things rather than, you know, kind of age restricting like they have been. They're fully deleting. One thing that I did find interesting though is in these terms of service, there we go. What happens if we violate this policy? They have a 3-strike 90-day rule similar to what TikTok has, but they also say that they can, you know, pick and choose essentially. So the power once again is in their hands. But this is interesting. We may terminate your channel or account for repeated violations of community guidelines or terms of service. Her channel is not terminated, nor has there been a limit to live streaming. All they've done is fully demonetize her, unless they did tell her not to do anything and she hasn't listened. I mean, that would be like ALR, right? Not the Pam. I really doubt Amber will make much on cameos, especially since she raised the price so high. That price is astounding. Like, was it 100 US? Like, at least if you're gonna pay that sort of money, you're gonna get somebody cool, right? It's absurd. So they've demonetized her but not removed her channel, and yeah, I don't know if she's supposed to be going live. Maybe they didn't disable that by accident, who knows. But this is not looking great for her, because if this is to do with a similar thing like Eugenia is having with TikTok, this might be until the threat is over. And the threat's not going to be over for some time. Her cameos are awful. Yeah, they're so bad. They're so bad. I went in and looked at them when I first started my reaction channel. They're really bad. Hey, Greta, hello. She might be trying to engagement bait with that price. Maybe. Yeah, it is insane. It's an insane price. That's so crazy. I hope no one actually pays that. I told my husband this morning, and he said, I mean, if we had disposable income and didn't care about what our money went to, he would get her to say a message to me and we would be laughing at it for ages. Like, I don't, even if we did, I wouldn't want our money going to her. She does not, as far as I know, get dollars based on watch time. I think that we're seeing that here, where she has a full demonetized state. So I believe she's not getting AdSense at the moment. Hey, Mother of Baggins! There are more famously problematic people that charge less. Indeed, there are. You consider getting a cameo for the lols, but yeah, for the price, it's not even worth the joke, is it? You hope someone pays for that and ask her what really happened to Rarity. I think she would just ignore it. Hey Lucy, hello, you did make it. Welcome. These lives are really good because I'm saying the names all the time. I'm able to retain more names, and then I see you pop up in my comment sections like, oh, I know that name. She wouldn't, no, she wouldn't answer if it was about rarity. Absolutely not. So I don't know what this means for her. I tend to think that she's probably doing everything that she can. I wonder if, I mean, I say this kind of laughing at myself. I wonder if she was smart with her money and has a nest egg or contingency set up, because any one income source cannot be counted on. I have contingencies set up in case things go down, and ways to be able to communicate with you. It's scary for her financially, for sure. I would be starting to budget like crazy if I were her, and DoorDash would be the first thing to go. Gypsy Rose charges less for some of her paintings. You thought she might lose income from ads but still get money based on the views? No, so those two things are linked. Views, money from views is the AdSense stuff. So yeah, she's not getting any money as far as I know for that. She definitely wouldn't answer, but it would be a wasted 110, but the reaction would be priceless and she would still have to send some kind of video back. Maybe, I don't know. Can she just refund? Or just ignore it? I don't know. Hate to say, but surely she'll go full, yeah, full, that kind of content. Yeah, probably right. And Hungry Fat Chick does that on the side as well. Thanks for the money. Yep. You really doubt she's done any serious financial planning? I doubt it too. She's taken so much time off too. Yeah. Yeah, you can decline. I would think so, because surely there would be inappropriate requests put through Cameo. Yes. Which actually brings me to another interesting point. Do I follow her? Hungry Fat Chick, yes. So this is one that's being brought up a lot. Hungry Fat Chick is seemingly unaffected. She has not had any videos removed to date. Now, my theory, I do have some theories on this. One, I think she's more liked than Amber. I think generally speaking, she's probably getting less reports, which is what YouTube wants to be risk adverse to, because if you think about it, they don't want to take down the videos because they're making money on them. But if they're held to it, like if there are complaints coming down, well, then they can't ignore it anymore because the courts might request them, so they have to act on those. Another thing is, although clearly all of Hungry Fat Chick's content is food related, like we can see that she doesn't even do her vlogs anymore. Although it is, she isn't explicitly saying that she has a certain condition or deliberately overeating or talking about calories or anything like that. It's just kind of eating. And I noticed that the amount of food that she's consuming is less than it used to be. So I wonder if she would even come under the consuming proportions of a large variety. I'm mixing this up because YouTube will ping me. I'm wondering if she's just falling under it's just somebody eating a lunch, even though it might be bigger than what we normally would. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? You think she is making money off those sorts of videos? Interesting. You could be right. You're going to charge 120 for a cameo reacting to her cameo. Yeah, people request. Yeah, I imagine, especially for the bigger, like, celebrities, they probably get all manner of inappropriate requests. You bet Tommy... Why? Okay. Do you think Tommy would still buy those videos even when she's been getting them free? Would I have to say it, my nuggets, would she buy the cow when she's getting the milk for free? That's horrible. You made me say that. The most financial planning she's done is the last 100-day money challenge pocket plan. Yes, that's right. I remember that. I do. Candy is likable. Yeah. And ALR. It's wild, actually. Out of all of the people that I've covered, there's always people that pop up and say, you know, the equivalent of leave Brittany alone, you know, that kind of thing. Eugenia the most has some really, really dedicated supporters in her space. I've not once had anybody tell me to leave Amber alone. Like, not once. You're still here? Yeah, go wash those dishes. I will be your entertainment through housework. I love that. You're all caught up now. So it is possible that at some point Candy might also be hit. I don't know. But I do think that all we're seeing here is risk-adverse behavior. And put it this way, if any of my stuff gets hit, I'll be pulling it down, cleaning it up, and then re-uploading it. But I have that luxury because it's not my being itself that is offensive to these channels, if that makes sense. It's like the sheer point of these women putting themselves on video can be deemed as glamorizing the lifestyle. Dishes are essential. I did mine before my live. So does anybody have any questions or any sort of weirdness that they've heard that they want me to clarify around this lawsuit? Because I have been hearing some heckin' things. Sorry, every time I mute my microphone, I'm wriggling in my chair because I feel the need to wriggle in my chair. So it's some heavy stuff. It is. No paper plates here. That's good. Okay, so unless you guys want to have a look at something else in this space. Oh, I do want to look at Amber's live. It's quite short. And then I kind of wanted to do a reaction to Rachel's most recent video. I haven't watched it yet, and I have a suspicion that she's committed to full lolcow. It's just a feeling. Eugenia supporters are cray-cray. Oh, they're dedicated for sure. I mean, you've got to stand for something, right? You can't fully keep up with all of it, but you heard it's really dark. Porcelain, go check out my videos on it. I think I break it down pretty well, and it'll catch you all up. Am I really the fourth? Hey, Bex, sorry, hello. I'm the fourth reactor to say no one defends her. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's bleak, right? You'd think there'd be somebody in the chats going, you know, she's fine. Does that mean that all of her audience are hate watching her? Thank you, Fire Rabbit. I really do try, and like I'm coming at this from not a law background, so I guess if I can get my head around it and understand it, I'm at least explaining it in lay terms. So yeah, I do hope that I do a good job explaining it. You haven't seen Rachel's either. Yeah. Yes, I know. I think I do think it kind of needs some chatter with it. I think she's going full lolcow. I think she's going to be one of the girls. Yeah. You support Eugenia in the way you want to heal a starving baby buddy. Yes. It's hard to know she does it to herself, though. Yeah, it is. And that's why I say I'm not a hater and I'm not a supporter either. I sit very much in the middle ground with everybody, really, that I cover. And I've noticed that to haters, I look like a supporter, and to supporters, I look like a hater, but it's just because I'm sitting in the middle gray area of objectivity. And it's true, she has brought all of this on herself, but it's also true that she's in a situation where she can't necessarily help herself. Yeah, it is definitely hard keeping up with it all, porcelain, but yeah, I've gone in depth with all of the documents. Amber mentioned Rachel touching the poo, so I think she knows she's just a lolcow. It's funny when Amber talks about the jokes about herself as though they're not about her in the first place. They're all hate watchers. Amber's got her sick defending her? What do you mean, Greta? I'm trying to keep up. Oh goodness, am I getting to the point where I can't keep up with my own comments? I'm proud and honored and horrified. Yeah, the fanatics like Ollie Blocks and Gen X Renegade. Yeah. I did see that Ollie put up something on Twitter or something talking about how horribly Eugenie has been treated, and the irony of the situation is since she's been gone, there's more to talk about than when she was just sitting there doing her lives. It is devastating to suffer from either of these conditions, to be honest. I think people take a lighter view of what Amber's condition is, but it's also just another prison for the body. You have nothing against Eugenia as a person. You don't like how she presents herself online. Absolutely, I agree with that. As a mum, it makes you worry for young girls who have been going through things. Yes, 100% Southern Squirrel. And I actually thought about it, you know, I missed Eugenia in my formative years because I'm older. But I was thinking, would somebody like her have affected me? And I think the scary truth of it is yes, she would have, but not in the way of like, I want to be like her. I think what I would have thought was I'd look at her and go, oh yeah, no, that's clearly really bad. And I'm not that bad, so I'm okay. And that's dangerous too. I made it to the big leagues. Maybe not quite. I'm still a baby chick. Gonna start calling you chat? No, I call you nuggets. Also, hello, CR Luna. You're a mum too. Yeah, it concerns you. You're embarrassed you didn't see the Rachel thing. Oh, see through the Rachel thing in the beginning. Yes, actually, that reminds me. I was going back because I only have ambiently watched Rachel. And I did notice, I was just, you know, bored one night and started combing through her stuff. And I found the post from like 5 months ago. Is it this one here? Yes, so this was 5 months ago. Hi everyone, I've just privated my recent video. I realize this is very much too little too late. I got blinded by how badly I wanted everyone to know that what Amber had allegedly done, which was stupid and misguided with hindsight. Thanks everyone for your constructive comments. The toothpaste is out of the tube now, and hiding the video is not an effective method of stopping the information getting shared. But you guys are right that I should never have posted it. And for anyone who is worried about me profiting from this, I understand. I'll post receipts of donating the AdSense to a DV charity. My YouTube analytics will update tonight and I'll share this soon. Did she? She did not. Maybe it was in a video. But like, you see these words, they sound very much like the most recent one. She's not amended her behavior at all. Sorry, I was ignoring the chat for a moment. You are now the humble chook and chat. Yeah, her live stream. Yeah, Eugenia's live streams were monotonous for sure. Hey, Black Petal Rose. Hello, welcome. I have not seen your name in here before, so hello. Rachel was better at covering herself in the beginning. Yeah. Do I think Rachel will ever recover? Yes, I do, because I think people will forget about it and something worse will happen and everyone will forget who she was. New people will come in and not know what happened. And yeah, I think she'll recover. You've always found Rachel condescending. I actually thought I was similar to her in delivery, but clearly you don't feel the same way about me, so that's interesting. Perhaps the way I perceive myself is different than how I'm received. But yeah, it's clearly not sincere. The thing about me, my nuggets, that I am who I am on here. I'm not putting up a facade, so I don't need to hide anything. I don't need to pretend to be anything. I don't need to keep consistency because I'm just me, you know? It's an open book. I am who I am. The only thing, I've said it before, the only thing you're getting is a little bit more consistency in like mood. Like if I'm not feeling great, I'm actually not feeling great today. I have a bit of a tummy bug. But you know, you boost up the energy a bit. That's about it. That's it. Nails on a chalkboard too. You honestly don't mind if she doesn't. Is that terrible? Oh, you found some. Oh, you don't mind if she doesn't recover. All right, you found new people. Yeah. That's the benefit of moving around. I think people move around anyway like that. You didn't initially connect that A was Rachel, but after the Discord leaks, yeah, it's most likely explanation. I'm more down to earth? Oh, good. Okay, that's very good. I seem very kind and understanding. I try to be. I try to treat everybody the way that I would have wanted to be treated while I was still growing. And I'm still growing. And I don't mean to say I've stopped, but to give people the grace that I would have needed. Rachel, you felt tended to be a bit more, this is a truth versus an opinion, even without explicitly saying it. I get that, yeah. Video of all the clips of her saying, I'm a philosopher graduate. She's really proud of that degree. You spoke to Rachel behind... What do you like to be called? RBL? Whoa? Cos? You spoke to her behind the scenes before she skyrocketed. How did that go for you? Her behavior in the Discord is what absolutely disgusted you. Me too. Yeah. The money talk, like, especially... the vibe that I'm getting, and granted, I don't know Rachel, but this is the image that I'm getting from her. I think that she was probably raised in a very nice, soft, upper middle class family where money probably wasn't an issue and they probably got to do a lot of things. I think she's grown up very privileged. I think she then went to university and was very skilled in academics, and so it wouldn't have probably mattered what the degree was. She would have done okay, and has not ever had any sort of what's the word I'm looking for, like hindrance in her life, any sort of controversy or anything to get past. And I think then what we're seeing is a 29-year-old who has had a very soft, very privileged upbringing, and she thinks that that's what the world is, and now is being met with the actual world, and yeah, is learning lessons that perhaps, you know, less privileged people might have learned a little bit earlier. You're a silent watcher. Oh, that's great, Black Petals. I'm always a lurker too in people's channels, so I appreciate that so much. You love my kind yet intellectual commentary. That is high praise. Thank you. The real question is, would I let Rachel hold one of my chickens? Cluck, no. No. She's not getting anywhere near my chickens. Definitely a mean girl. Yeah. That I'm sure of. The money talk is gross. Yep. Someone said her parents are wealthy and live in a nice part of London. Yeah, it's the vibe I'm getting. I'd believe that. Rebel without a cause. It went pretty well until right before the money going to back. Yeah, she really could have saved this at so many points. But that apology video and then not mentioning it at all afterwards is weird. Okay, so how many chickens do I have? Currently, I have 15. 4 roosters and 11 hens. Hey, evil psycho kitty. I love your name. You found me through Eugenia. Weren't aware of this one until I did the series on them. Yeah, well, that makes sense. Rachel exclusively does Girl World content. The apology video was about as good as Colin Ballinger's. Yes, it was. Okay, so tell me my nuggets. What would you like to watch? Do we want to watch Amber's live with her trying to explain her demonetized status badly, or do we want to watch Rachel's latest video and see if I'm right about my theory? You need a chicken introduction video. You're gradually getting them with the snack crew. You second the chicken. I love that everybody is so into my chickens. I was so hesitant to bring them up at first because I thought nobody would care. Do I hatch cute baby chicks? Not at the moment, Petal. I can't have more roosters and I can't cull them and I can't give them away. So until I have a solution where I can have a dedicated bachelor coop, there will be no baby chicks. You down for both? What a choice. Rachel? Video of Amber ignoring all of her commenters. Rachel, Amber, Rachel. I think Rachel has it. Hello, is it Diana or Diana? DeLuna. Probably Diana, more common. Yeah, Rachel. Okay, let's do Rachel. Let's not do Rachel. Let's watch Rachel. Has anyone seen this? I haven't yet. Also, still very much losing more subscribers, and I'm going to do a follow-up video on Rachel Jawbone, Studio Deets, and Hector Kana, just to kind of sum up all of this nonsense in the aftermath, because I don't think that there's enough information to do a deep dive on each of those people, and I just want to kind of cover it all together, especially since 2 of those channels are now smaller than me, and I have covered a channel that was a lot smaller than me before, and I regretted it because it just didn't feel right. I was ignorant and stupid and didn't look at their subscriber count before I did it. None of you want to give her the click. I'll give her the click. I'll do it. She can have 2 cents. You have the crown now. You do. That's top chatters, I think. Top fans. You always wanted chickens. You don't have the space. You ended up with snakes instead. that's a compromise. Yeah. How many subs? Let me see. Sorry, clickety clackety. Whoops. So she peaked at 65.5 thousand, and she's currently at 52.1. You heard Hector Connors talking about DoorDash Girl again. He hadn't uploaded in a while. Yeah, it was a big loss. I want to go into the percentages because each of them, even though the smaller channels lost fewer people percentage-wise, it was still very substantial. Typing ASMR. It's gotta hurt, yeah, for sure. But it is getting less. It was in the thousands per day. Now it's like 100 here and there. Okay, but let's get into the video. Otherwise, we'll never do it. So this is...
Hello, welcome back.
OCD lies. This will be interesting. I actually have been diagnosed. I've been diagnosed, my nuggets, okay, with OCD. It's fully under control, unmedicated. So I have an insight into this topic. She shouldn't have touched the poo. She should not. Hey, but it taught me a valuable lesson, didn't it? I hope she does too. Marshmallow takes it as a lesson and looks inward. It's kind of looking like she's not doing that. You've got the crown, Black Petal, yes. You're a boomer. She's wearing the weird girl shirt because Zachary Michael called her a weird girl. Oh my god. She is a lolcow. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, let's get this started, otherwise we're never gonna get through it.
In a recent live stream, Amber Lynn Reid, who is one of YouTube's most unlucky content creators when it comes to being diagnosed with various medical conditions, said this.
People think I was joking when I said I got diagnosed with OCD. Like, you guys see the scars on my arms from my excoriation. That's due to OCD. OCD isn't, oh, my sink has to be cleaned after I wash my dishes. No, you're just a cleanly person. So people don't understand like what actual like obsessive thoughts and obsessive like OCDs are.
Now this was kind of curious to me because Amber is very confident in this live that she has OCD, but I, along with many other people on the internet, heavily suspect that she's never been given this diagnosis and she in fact gave it to herself, not unlike many of her other diagnoses which she claims to have.
I agree with that. I do. I don't think that Amber's been diagnosed with OCD. I don't necessarily think that Amber has OCD. I think she picks some of these quirky things and then blames it on it because anybody who's suffered with OCD knows that it's debilitating and it's not just a matter of a bit of skin picking. Bedbug bites. Very curious. Hello, little croissant. The more you watch Rachel respond to what others say about her, the more you think she's literally trying to be ALR. I think so too. You found the butt emoji. I'm glad you're enjoying them, Fire Rabbit.
Comment underneath this live which says this person writes, "You don't have OCD. You pick disorders that allow you to make excuses for your terrible behaviours. I've been clinically diagnosed since I was 14. I don't wear my OCD like a badge of honour like you do. It's an everyday prison. It's not saying, I love sparkly things, I'm so OCD, you are so insufferable." So I decided that now would be an appropriate time to delve into Amber's recent and also historic OCD lies. First of all...
Okay, I just want to say... Here's what I'm thinking when I'm watching this and when I watch Rachel's stuff in general. I think it's clear that we all kind of think that there was some manner of relationship with Emily, right? Something inappropriate on a romantic level. Rachel has said that if you saw the screenshots, you'd be like, oh, it's just being nice or just being a little bit, flirty, and that it's nothing. Then she doesn't produce those screenshots, which make us think, like, how can we not think then that they are far worse than what she's portraying them to be? Which then makes us think even more that there is a relationship, which means that if there is a relationship, this is Emily's ex-girlfriend responding and reacting to Emily's other ex-girlfriend. And that is gross. That is inappropriate and so weird. So weird. Can you imagine? Like, why Rachel has, since this went down, only released Amber Lynn videos is beyond me. I would have, if I was in her position, and I'm sure that at some point I will have some manner of controversy, but if I was Amber, sorry, I just mixed up their names. If I was Rachel right now, I would not be covering anything to do with Amber. Like, full hiatus until, I don't know, enough time has passed, or maybe not ever, go back to doing it at all, because it's too close. She was smug about it. She really was. Exactly, Teardrop. She did like the smoking video. I've since learned that that's a full-on thing. I didn't realize that that was an interest of people. That's some trailer park drama. I don't know. I don't know if the smoking interest is weird. I think people like what they like. And it's really interesting how these things spark in our psyches, but like, I don't know. It just all feels so gross. Yeah, the name slip. I nearly called her Amber. It was definitely a Freudian slip. I apologize. But I do kind of see these two people very similarly now. Rachel Lynn Greed is... Yeah, I love those names. It does. Evil Psycho Kitty, it fully comes off as jealousy, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's odd at this point. She's giving British people a bad name. No, we know. She does not speak for you, we know. You used to be so flattered when other reactors before this used to say they loved her British accent because you're a Brit too. Yeah, I know, I get that too. People really like the Aussie accents. Hopefully I do not disappoint you all in this way. I will endeavor not to. But I am human, totally human. I will likely make a mistake at one point, but hopefully you all know me well enough to know that my intentions should be good, and I will own up to it and learn from it immediately.
I'm going to establish that she has in fact lied. Then we're going to talk about why I think she might have lied about OCD specifically. And then we're going to talk a little bit about why it's so damaging to pretend to have a disorder that you don't actually have. I do have another video that's very similar to this about Amber's BPD lies. This is the video here. This is all about her claiming to have been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder when she definitely hasn't been. In that video, I highlighted how much Amber loves to use diagnoses of all different kinds to deflect, attack, garner sympathy, and also just make herself out to be a victim. Whilst researching for this video, I came to the realization that on her YouTube journey over the 12 years Amber's been online, she has claimed to have over 30 different diagnoses, afflictions, or conditions, including, but not limited to, hernia, lymphedema, uterine cancer, gallstones, kidney stones, high blood pressure, hypothyroidism, binge eating disorder, UTI, carpal tunnel, swollen spine, hip bursitis, acid reflux, excoriation, depression, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder, slip disc, long-sightedness, seasonal affective disorder, asthma, heel spur, chronic athlete's foot, insomnia, memory loss, generalized swelling, allergy to eggs, ADHD, PTSD, CPTSD, OCPD, and OCD. That list...
That's a mouthful. Okay, and again, she's put herself in this position where it's like, okay, that is very well researched. I appreciate that. It is the kind of depth that I would go into if I was going to be speaking on this topic, and I like that. And I think if it was somebody else that I like to watch, I'd go, yeah, that's really well researched. But now we're looking at it through this ex-girlfriend vibe, and maybe not that serious, but like ex-romantic whatever. And it's coming off really like invasive. Aussie accent is the best. Thank you. I'm reputable in your opinion. I hope so, RBL. I hope so. You love the sound of my voice? Oh, thank you. I'm glad you find it soothing. Not everyone agrees with you, but that's okay. She forgot dandruff. Chronic athlete's foot. It is a long list, yeah. She has Amber. I kind of understand on one level, but at the same time, I feel like she needs to start developing herself as a fully grown-ass adult, where I do get that she kind of feels like she has no personality, and she's made these illnesses her personality, and people do that. Like, that is a thing. It's not unique to Amber, but I think it really speaks to how much low self-esteem there must be there to think that you have nothing else to offer. But it's also circling that theory that I have that Amber will not lose weight because she's using it to keep herself in a victim mode. And that means that she's not responsible for anything, and she always needs to rely on people to do things for her because the alternative terrifies her, in my opinion. And I think that all of these illnesses and grasping onto those and saying that you have everything kind of furthers that idea. An unfortunate pre-scream. I apologize. It's giving guys. My nuggets. You can see Amber actually having borderline. Yeah, maybe. I mean, no matter what she has, because I think you could probably argue a handful of personality disorders or just general cognition disorders. But the thing is, she uses them all as excuses and not realizing that you're actually supposed to try and improve them. You know, people with these things like my OCD, for example, I don't just sit there and go, oh, well, I have OCD. That's just who I am. So I'm going to be terrified of everything and get stuck in patterns. And, you know, no, I worked on myself for years to get it into a state where it's completely under control, but I need to still work all the time to keep it under control. Smiling with her bottom teeth. You are all very distracted by this freeze frame.
Is not exhaustive, by the way. It's been widely documented that Amber tends to add a new diagnosis like every 2 or 3 months to the list. They often tend to come out when she's trying to deflect from various scandals, and usually we just kind of roll our eyes and keep it moving. Nobody makes too much commentary about the specific diseases which she claims to have, or illnesses or diagnoses or whatever, and generally that's because there is just so much to say about her in general that these diagnoses kind of fall to the wayside. But when I was watching this recent live stream, I was really struck by her doubling down so hard on having OCD. So in this video, we're going to discuss the discrepancies in the timeline of Amber's OCD diagnosis and cover how Amber uses these alleged diagnoses.
I'm sorry, this is so weird. It's so uncomfortable to watch. This is a choice. I outlined in my last Rachel video what her choices were that were on the table. I think what she thinks she's doing is just ignoring all of the backlash and pushing through, and eventually it will be okay, which is absolutely an okay tact that I think she could have done before that apology video. But what this is coming off as now, and what I think has actually happened, is that she's gone to the full Lolcow commitment route. And I don't know if we're going to be able to get past that for a while, or if anybody will. I can't take her seriously as a philosopher anymore. I really can't. She doesn't live it, and I don't want to listen to somebody preach about something that they don't live. Just my opinion. You use your ADHD as a superpower. You raw dog it with no meds. Wow. What is your superpower? Like, how do you utilize that? And I do agree with you, Mother of Baggins, because I think understanding how your brain works, I'm also neurodivergent, not ADHD, but I'm able to use it to my advantage in my channel because of my hyperfixations that I get into, and then you guys get deep dives and you really like that. It is very hard to watch. I agree, RBL. And I'm glad. I appreciate you too. Hey, French. Hello. Another name that I see a lot in my comment section. Thank you. Other channels have debunked the OCD claim. Yeah, as somebody that has OCD, it doesn't look like OCD to me. It looks like quirky, you know, just everybody has quirks. She's saying, yeah, exactly. Dead Not Sleeping. She's saying Amber is the bad one. Yeah, don't look at me, look at her. She's so much worse. You never go full Lolcow. She did though. A lot of YouTubers have ADHD, yeah. I will say that while I've been diagnosed with OCD, I have not been diagnosed on the autism spectrum, but everybody in my family has. And so I think it's likely. I have very similar symptoms. As someone diagnosed with OCD, you agree? Yeah, totally, Sarah. Yeah. It's great for your crochet, yes. Yes, Bex, I'd love to crochet also. Horrible for regular day-to-day, but really good for this one thing that I've really focused on and enjoy the methodicalness of that pattern. In Amber's specific case, diagnosis is irrelevant if she never does anything to help herself. Totally, Marshmallow. I totally agree. And it's kind of why I think it's why I say, like, for me personally, I really don't want anybody to feel like I'm calling them out because everybody's different. For me personally, everything that I've gone through, therapy has never been beneficial for me, even though I've been in a lot, I've seen a lot of different people, I've tried different aspects of therapy, and I found that thinking about things too much or analyzing things too much was less effective than just doing the clucking thing, you know? Does that make sense? And like, so yeah, you can have all these things, but I feel like a label isn't going to affect whether I'm actively working on it or not. Diagnosed autistics, raise your hands. See, I'm of a generation where all of that was kind of just starting to come in, but I was just told to be normal. So I learned how to mask very well. And my mother literally forced me to look people in the eye when I was little, and it was so uncomfortable to reroute that behavior in an unhealthy situation. You're in the US, it might be dangerous to raise your hand. You get that, Fire Rabbit. Therapy didn't work for you either, made you feel worse every time. Yeah, I think it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just the way different brains are wired. I just advocate do whatever works for you. For me, what worked was just getting over myself and just fixing everything, you know?
Diagnoses, all the different ones that she's had, as kind of an excuse for her behaviour. And we're going to discuss how her doing this could potentially further stigmatise these conditions, which lots of people who follow Amber genuinely do suffer with. We'll also talk a little bit about Amber's point-blank refusal to just get some bloody therapy. So when it comes to the diagnosis timeline, those of you guys who are deep in the Amber Lynn lore will remember the first time that Amber ever talked about OCD on her channel, it was with reference to her then girlfriend Crystal, who Amber claimed was formally diagnosed with OCD. In one of her very early videos from 2014, this video here titled Life with Amber Lynn, February 3, 2014 Part 1, Amber discusses her OCD in this video, and she says that because of this OCD that she has to write down the dates of all of her dance workouts.
So one fact you can learn about me is that I do have OCD, so does my girlfriend, but we both have different OCD. I'm very compulsive when it comes to certain things. So this is my little dance schedule, so every song that I do, I'm gonna write down. That is like way compulsive, like
It's way compulsive. Oh, if only this was how OCD presented itself, it would be much easier to live with. Bloody hot in Australia, isn't it always? Isn't that what we do? You've heard cognitive behavioral therapy doesn't usually work for spectrum folks. Interesting. I have not heard that. I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to get into specifics, but there are some not high functioning people in my family, and they've gone through therapies that have really helped them to at least like kind of operate in society. And yeah, I really think it just depends on the individual. You ain't dancing. You gotta go. No, it's 2:30 a.m. No problems, Black Petals Rose. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Your son and partner's on the spectrum. Yeah. I think it's pretty common. I really do. Because it's a spectrum. I think a lot of people land on it. Just, you know, it can be beneficial at some point, but then it gets to a point where it does stop your functioning.
do I really need to do that? I guess so.
And as far as I can tell, it's also in this video where Amber first mentions Crystal's OCD.
Since I gave you guys an OCD thing that I do, I'm gonna tell you one that my girlfriend does. Are you guys ready for it? She washes her hands. She washes her hands.
Did she consent to that? Oh, I don't like the Crystal stuff. I've been watching a lot of old Amber stuff, getting ready for her chapter 2, and it's just so much around Crystal that's just awful.
Oh, I mean, she'll wash her hands after pretty much like anything that she does. And not only that, but if I'm cleaning the cat box, or I'm feeding the cats, or I'm doing something involving something kind of gross with my hands, she'll need to wash her hands.
So it sounds like, at least from what Amber's saying, that her then girlfriend Crystal genuinely does struggle with OCD. Granted, nothing that Amber says from this period or ever can be taken as absolute fact, but if Amber is to be believed, then her girlfriend has this genuine struggle, which Amber basically just comes along and commandeers and claims for herself also. A tiny bit later in this video, Amber confirms that Crystal has the diagnosis, but listen to what she says.
I feel like everybody might have a tad bit of OCD, but I feel like some people are actually diagnosed with it. Like my girlfriend, she was diagnosed with OCD disorder, and so was I, but in certain cases hers is worse, and in certain cases mine is a little worse. But I feel like everybody is compulsive over something, so if you are, you should tell me down in the comments below. Why not?
So from what I can tell, this is Amber's first ever.
Hey, Aloe. If you start the stream from the beginning, I actually run through everything. It looks like at this point, let me check, refresh. No, not monetized. But yeah, I go into detail. It does look like, I do know what you're talking about, because it does look like her members only stuff is still there under members only. For some reason, it's not coming up on... That's weird, isn't it? It's not coming up on my screen. I did see it before. I'm not seeing it now. I do know what you're talking about, but I don't know what happens with those old videos. And now I've lost her tab. Oh, there we go. Yeah. It would be an incredibly fast appeal. And I will say, Bex, one thing that I do bring as criticism to the YouTube platform is that it's incredibly difficult to get to a human. When you have a problem, you appeal it and you don't get to talk to anybody. They just throw the terms and conditions at you and say, go read that. And it's not helpful. It's one thing that YouTube could really do better.
A claim that she has been diagnosed with OCD. She then goes on throughout this era to claim that these little quirks in her personality or these little unique behaviors that she shows are due to this.
Shall we speed her up? I'm feeling a little impatient. I'm sorry, this is on my end. Okay, I feel like I'm probably being a little bit harsher with Rachel than everybody else that I cover, just because I feel like she's been masquerading as something that I hold very close to my set of ethics and boundaries. And so, yeah, I do apologize. I am aware that I do sound a little bit harsher with Rachel than I do normally. 1.5? Let's try 1.5.
OCD that she claims to have, for example.
I'm sure you could tell I changed my makeup style because I did. I was having major, like, OCD with the other style I was doing. I kind of felt like it was uneven. And I don't read in the car. I don't read when I go anywhere. But I feel like it's just this weird OCD type of thing that if I leave the house, I like my book with me. Crystal does the laundry. I choose to put away my own clothes just because I'm like OCD. I will not have her put away my clothes. And I gotta say, writing it all down in the journal was very tedious. It got boring. It kind of annoyed me because I'm so OCD and I like how to do it absolutely perfect. I haven't even started packing yet. And I'm like really OCD when I pack. Like I plan my outfits, I plan my jewelry, and I write it all down. It's just like this really creepy obsession I have, but it has to be like perfect. And I haven't even started doing that. So I do have obsessive compulsive disorder, not just, oh, I have OCD, but I actually have the disorder in several different aspects of my life.
You'll notice that Amber only really mentions OCD in the context of her trying to make herself seem unique and quirky. That's my opinion. And it always seems to be about some kind of vapid thing, like lining up items or writing lists or paying bills. But it was particularly...
I actually feel like this is a common thing that we see teenagers doing a lot, you know, like, it's like over asserting a personality trait in order to seem unique, because at that time, you know, you kind of get lost in a sea of other teenagers and you want to feel like you stand out. But it's something that I nearly just called Amber Rachel. Oh my gosh. It's, I cannot with this. I'm sorry. It's something that Amber has never grown out of. I gotta stop doing that.
Particularly prominent during this time period. So Amber goes on with making her videos and she mentions OCD over and over again on her channel. All throughout the Crystal era, she goes on about her having OCD loads. And I noticed when I was looking through her channel that after she and Crystal break up, it seems to me anyway, that the frequency of these OCD claims decreases massively. She does...
I agree with that. And something that I observed after Amber was in Wisconsin, she started, do you remember she came back and all of a sudden she started having these food anxieties? But I actually think that it's Emily that had food anxieties, because she did make a comment that she didn't like her food touching her other food. So like foods that are all mixed up, like chili or soups or whatever, you know, where all of the food is touching all of the other food. That sounds like what Emily was describing. But then after the Wisconsin trip, all of a sudden Amber has food anxieties, where we hadn't really heard that from her before.
does still make mention of it here and there when talking about paying bills and other kinds of things.
But I'm really OCD when it comes to our bills. Every single month I have a whole booklet for it.
But the frequency of these mentions, as I've said, drops right down. Almost like Crystal goes out of Amber's life and then all of a sudden she's not asked in claiming that she has OCD anymore. But she does still mention it. It's not like she suddenly stops. She still talks about it here and there. And in February of 2021, in this video here, she claims yet again that she has been diagnosed with OCD.
You have OCD, yes. And yes, I was diagnosed. Calm down.
So there it is, once again, out of the horse's mouth, and this is not the only time she says this. She claims not only that she has OCD, she specifically says that she's been diagnosed. Just a few months later, after the video I just played you a clip from, there's a live stream, it's this live stream here, where Amber is asked about her OCD. Now watch this.
Hey Amberlynn, sorry if this is personal, but my mom has OCD. Do you do rituals before you leave the house? I'm just curious. Hope you're well. Thank you for the super chat. I make sure the door's locked a few different times. That's like a big one, but I feel like a lot of people do that.
So this person is...
She was making that up on the spot. Any OCD folks, any OCD nuggets in the chat? I think that we've seen one. If I asked you what your rituals are, could you not rattle them off immediately without having a thought, without having an and then coming up with, oh, I checked the door a couple of times, but I feel like everyone does that. It's OCD is not cute. It's not simple. It's horrible. It's a curse.
Is asking Amber to talk about her OCD. They mention rituals, which can be a big part of OCD for some people, and these rituals, from what I've read, can be seriously debilitating. It sounds like it can cause severe mental anguish. So when Amber is asked this in her live, as somebody who claims to have OCD, you would think that she would have a little bit more to say on it, maybe, because she's talked about these rituals in the past on her channel. However, when she's asked, this is all she says. Now, like I've said, this response doesn't mean that she doesn't have OCD. It could be that she just doesn't struggle with the rituals, but it just seems a little bit odd to me that when she's given this moment on a platter to actually discuss her struggles, all of a sudden she's got nothing to say. So I don't think anyone was really that surprised when Amber, about 9 months later, made this video here. It's called I Lied and I'm So Sorry. And in this video, Amber kind of admits to her lies. She doesn't actually call them lies, she calls them inconsistencies.
So I am going to be reacting to a video that points out my inconsistencies. So I can understand why it may be hard to believe things I say because of my inconsistencies.
But she does admit in this video that she in fact has not been diagnosed with OCD.
I have like forms of OCD. I do. Nowhere near as bad as some people, so I'm not saying that at all. But I do some OCD things. I do. And one of the worst ones is picking my skin. I literally can't stop.
That's just a bad habit. It's a bad habit. You pick it up as a self-soothing thing, probably in childhood, and then you don't stop doing it. It's not OCD, it's a habit. Okay, can somebody please explain ADHD piles? Is that what I'm thinking? Have I missed this information? Like, as in piles? Piles? I need to... Yes, please explain. At this point, I would just direct people with questions about all of ALR's diagnosis to the DSM-5. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. They're both insufferable. I know. And do you know what? I'm watching this and I'm thinking... It's such a shame that Rachel has turned out to be who she has shown herself to be, because I did really like the at least seeming intelligence that she brought to her videos, but I think though she's just learned how to parrot really well, I think she knows how to speak well and has a larger vocabulary than perhaps some other people, but it's disappointing. I am disappointed. Piles of clothing. Okay, thank you, Fire. I was thinking something else and I was very confused. Your entire family is a beautiful symphony of autism and ADHD. And you wouldn't be shocked if Amber had ADHD. I love that. A beautiful symphony. That's so nice. It's like all the different colors and sounds and flavors. You make the piles with the intention of putting them away one at a time because it seems less overwhelming. It's a trap. They stay there. Oh, I'm laughing because it's relatable. Usually piles of clothing or other items, yeah. I used to be like that. I have gotten a lot better with age. But yeah. You do the biting skin thing, it's severe anxiety. But it's your problem to control it. Your partner does this too. You have CPTSD. Yep. I'm sorry about that, RBL. That's rough. The weird thing is, you've probably been able to notice in my snack crew videos where you see my hands. I do it too. I really do. It's such a horrible habit. And at the moment, I've managed to stop biting my nails, but the skin picking is difficult. I don't sit here and say I have excoriation. That's a weird thing to say. It's like, it's just one of those bad habits that I know is a self-soothing thing, but like, I'm not proud of it. I'm really not. I try to hide it. CPTSD nugget here too. Oh, Marshmallow, I'm sorry. Oh, you say beautiful symphony tongue-in-cheek. Oh. I don't know. I like it. I like it. You're a nail biter. Yeah. It's horrible. It's like you're sitting there actively hurting yourself and, oh, I shouldn't say that on YouTube. Oh, I'm going to get age restricted. And you know it's bad, but yeah. Yeah.
I hate it more than anything. I wanted to open up a bit about my OCD. No, never been diagnosed with OCD because I've never been tested, but I have been diagnosed with OCPD because I have been tested. So I don't know what to do with that information, but I feel like I should put it out there.
She claims instead, as you've just heard, to have been diagnosed with OCPD, which is very different. Now, this is not where the confusion and fuckery ends, but let's have 2 minutes here to just discuss this difference between OCD and OCPD, a distinction which, if Amber had in fact been diagnosed, I think she would absolutely know about. So underneath this video, the one I've just mentioned, somebody comments this: OCPD and OCD are not the same thing at all, and this is totally true. Please bear in mind that all I've done here for this video is read like a bunch of different articles. I'm not a psychologist at all, but as I understand it, OCD and OCPD are like fundamentally different. Although it's true that you can have both, as Amber goes on in the future to claim, but we'll talk about that in a minute, it's relatively unlikely from what I've seen to have both. But in a nutshell, the difference between these two things is in essence the nature of the disorder. So when it comes to OCD, OCD is an anxiety disorder and OCPD is a personality disorder. Both conditions can overlap, but they are distinct. OCD is an anxiety disorder with intrusive thoughts and compulsions, while OCPD is a personality disorder characterized by perfectionism and order. And although these two things can coexist in someone, getting a diagnosis for one can be really difficult. It can take a long time, a lot of dedication with the same psychotherapist or the same diagnoser. Different people can diagnose stuff in different countries, as I understand it, but it would require a lot of time, effort, consistency, and there is no sign on Amber's channel of her ever putting in this kind of work into anything, let alone receiving a real diagnosis. I showed you a clip a few seconds ago from this video here where we see Amber saying that she was never diagnosed with OCD, but as I've mentioned already multiple times over the years prior, Amber claims that she does have it and that she was diagnosed. So this is already one instance of her absolutely lying about this, and this is not the only diagnosis she's lied about, as I'm sure you all know. So we know that Amber's lied about having OCD once before. In my opinion, it is not a big stretch at all to assume that just like some of her other diagnosis claims, Amber is lying about having OCD and OCPD as well. And I'm pretty sure if she had received this formal diagnosis, she would know that she had OCPD and not OCD. So why is she going on about having OCD the whole way throughout her channel? But it gets even more complicated still. So in May of 2022, in the clip that I just showed, Amber says that she has not been tested for OCD, right? She says, I have OCPD, but I don't have OCD because I was never evaluated or tested or assessed for it. But then, just 8 months later, in this video here, I think I'm going to put it there, Amber claims again that she in fact has been diagnosed with OCD.
And I don't know if this is like because I have that obsessive side of me, like I was diagnosed with OCPD, which is obsessive compulsive personality disorder.
I just noticed the ratios here. Look at that. Her views are quite substantially down from what she's used to as well here. You can't see that. Huh. Views. So people are clearly not happy. I actually had a squiz through this comment section as well. It does look like she is deleting comments. Yeah. Yeah.
I was diagnosed with that like 5 years ago, and it was just like a couple years ago I was diagnosed with actual OCD. You can have both.
So you've just heard Amber say that she was diagnosed about 2 years ago, but as I've just shown you in the video that I've already played, this video here, where Amber says that she was not diagnosed with OCD, this video was made only 9 months prior. So in this video, she says she was diagnosed with OCD.
Yes, Bex. All she had to do was apologize and actually get it. And tell me what you think, my nuggets. I feel like an apology video should be quite brief and concise, and it should just be literally acknowledging that you understand what you've done wrong, maybe reiterating what you've done wrong, apologizing for it, and then nothing else. You know, because in that apology video that she did, it was also trying to drag everybody else down with her. And that's what made it insincere. If it had have just been, yeah, I clucked up, I get it, I'm not going to do this again, I really want to move forward, and I hope that you give me the opportunity to be able to move forward. But it was like a 45, 43, whatever minute video that spent half of it just trying to say, yeah, I know that I've done something bad, but look at this person, they also did something bad. That's the issue. And that's what makes this so ridiculous to watch, because she's trying to move on. She's trying to move on and maintain her image and keep everything the same, but she's just gone at this in the worst possible way, which I think indicates that A, she doesn't really respect her viewers because she thinks that they're dumb enough to fall for this, and B, probably has no real insight into how the world works. You also think she was angry at Charlie as she was about to leak it herself. Yeah, possibly. Yes, Greta, exactly. Nothing else included. I apologize, but yeah. There really is legitimately a whole lot of points in this journey that she's been on that she really could have come out of it okay. She probably would have still lost a few people, but not as many, and not for so long. Because now it seems like every time she releases a video where she's just moving on as normal, which is exactly what I thought this video was going to be, she loses more people because they feel like they're not being heard. So now even the people that were willing to give her a chance are falling away. Oh, one night she was told she might have fibromyalgia. Oh, jeez, that's what she needs. Like, I'm sure that she is in a lot of pain. But probably not for that reason. She was livid with Charlie. Yeah, fully. She was so mad. And mad at the person that leaked it as well. And I've had some people say, you know, to the last Rachel video that I did, that they disagree with my comment that you're never going to convince me that Discord isn't private, and people saying that they have private Discords and all of that. But the reality is, if this is her job, she really needs to keep it professional no matter where she is, even if this was like a private messenger group between people that you know. I would still have cautioned her to be careful what she says. Like, why put something in writing? In this day and age when things are so easy to fake, why put something real out there? It's naive, really. Oh, indeed, yes, she did say we were stupid. Yes, I forgot about that. Very true. She said, yeah, she did say confidently that the leaker would be exposed, and they haven't. I mean, we know that it was a Charlie Gold fan or watcher, but that's all we know. Mother of Baggins, this is indeed a private YouTube chat. It's super private. Yeah. People can be snakes. You just can't say everything you want to. That's exactly right. See, Alona, I can't get myself in that mindset where, you know, this is not like a 70-year-old woman who's never touched the internet before getting on and discovering all of this. We've grown up. We've all grown up with the internet. We all know what it is and what it does. And especially when it comes to something like Discord, where people could be invited in without you knowing. You don't know who's there. You don't. And even I'll just say that, and this is why I always say I don't align with anybody, because I don't know anybody. I don't know any of the creators in the space. I don't know you either. You know, it's like, how could you possibly speak with such familiarity to people online like that in a public space without knowing them? And I mean really knowing them. You couldn't know them. And I've had every so often, because, you know, like I've thanked Adam McIntyre for shouting out my video, which I'm grateful when people shout out my videos for obvious reasons. And so it's polite to thank them. And then I've had people saying, oh, if you align with this person, then I'm unsubscribing. I'm like, I don't align with them. I'm grateful that they shouted out my video. I don't know them, so I can't align with them. She said she'd make money, whatever. Yeah, whether people love her or hate her, exactly, Greta. But not with no subs and not a dead channel. But to be fair, she still has over 50,000 subs. It's a lot more than I've got. She still has a lot of earning potential there. Studio Deets sounded really silly. They even said a bunch of people I didn't know wanted to be the cool kid. Yeah, I did watch their apology video. I will touch on it in a video. I don't think there's a lot to be said there behaviorally. I think it was a massive oversight on their behalf. You believe reputation is everything. Yeah. Yeah. People will forget this though. Mark my words, they will.
Around 2 years ago, but 9 months prior, she says that she wasn't diagnosed with OCD ever. In the time between these two videos, so the 9 months that have passed between her saying she isn't diagnosed and her saying she is diagnosed, not once on her channel does she make any mention of being assessed for OCD. It's possible that she went away, got assessed in that time, and never mentioned it and never talked about it on her YouTube channel, but I think we all know that's highly unlikely. Amber will monetize just about anything, so if she was being evaluated for OCD, she absolutely would have made content about it, but she doesn't mention it in this time period at all. So this timeline is completely a total mess, and it's just not believable at all. I firmly believe that as per her general MO on YouTube, she's absolutely lying about it.
That nearly made me snort. The North remembers. Baggins is a handsome boy. Is he there with you at the moment? Yes, the internet has a short memory span. It really does.
This diagnosis. Of course I concede that this kind of 2-year, 9-month discrepancy could just be an innocent mistake, which I highly doubt. There are multiple instances throughout Amber's time on YouTube before the 2022 video where she admits that she was never diagnosed, where she claims that she was diagnosed. For example, this video here, where she literally says, when I was younger, I was diagnosed with OCD.
When I was younger, I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. A lot of people joke about having OCD or being OCD with certain things, but it's not really something to joke about when someone really has it, because when I was diagnosed with OCD, like, they sat there and they were like explaining everything to me, and I had to tell them like all the weird things that I did.
But I think it's pretty clear from her body language and what she's saying that she's lying in this video. She also later goes on to admit that she was lying anyway. Of course, Amber...
Oh, he is a good boy. You feel like most of you in there were the cheerleader on the sidelines for Rachel in the beginning. And now I'm stuck with you. I'm delighted to be, firstly. And I mean what I said. I've forgotten which video I said it in, one of the Rachel videos, where if she turns this around and she really looks like she has learned from her mistakes, I will absolutely be there shouting out her name and cheering her on. It's important that people can grow. I'm just not inspired by the efforts so far. And I'm disappointed. And what I'm going to do is, Rachel is an official person that I am keeping an eye on now. And yeah, oh yes, no, Deets did say that, by the way, yes. She is somebody that I'm covering, but I am going to do this aftermath video. Hang on a second, sorry. Oh, spring is wonderful. Hay fever. I will be doing this aftermath video, but I will keep an eye on her because I'm sure now that she's shown who she is, there's going to be more mistakes. I'll cover them as they come out, but I feel like just harping on that she hasn't learned, like it's going to get redundant after a point because she's just going to keep doing this. People really do want to see, yeah, we love a redemption arc, right, Greta? We want to see that. I want to see all of them improve. Every single one of them.
Being a liar isn't particularly new information. It's not very interesting. It's certainly no revelation. But there are two things which I think are interesting about this. So the first one is the damage that lies like this can do in general. And the second one is the question of why Amber's lying. Why on earth is she even lying about this in the first place? And I think the way we can tell this is by looking at the context that she lied in. So when she first started talking about OCD at the beginning of her channel, she was dating Crystal, as many of you know. Crystal, who allegedly, according to Amber, did in fact have OCD. And those of you who've seen lots of Amber content will know that assimilating to the person that she's dating is something Amber does. I think it's kind of a narcissistic thing to do. When you lack like a genuine sense of self in yourself, you sort of copy the people around you. It's not just narcissistic, if we're honest, because I think a lot of people do that, especially when you're young. You don't really know who you are. I'm not saying this is always unhealthy, but it's something.
It's really funny that she says, especially when you're young, you don't know who you are. That's how I feel about you, Rachel. Exactly that line. And it's fascinating too, because an older person might be watching me and thinking that about me. And I think it's important to cringe at your past self because it means that there's been growth. And perhaps there's things that I'm saying this year, right now, that in 10 years I will cringe at. It's likely, it's super likely, because we continue to grow. But that is exactly how I see Rachel at the moment. You think she's just going to pretend nothing has happened? I agree with you, Fire Rabbit. I really do. I think that's the tack that she's decided to take. She just doesn't seem to realize that that makes her a lolcow to do it that way now. She could have done it this way before the apology. Is that her version of Ned Fulmer's rock bottom? Oh, never go full Ned Fulmer. Never go full Ned Fulmer. Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's an honest recovery journey. But I think that's what we're saying. In essence, we just want to see, we want to see the real growth. It would be amazing if Eugenia became healthy somehow. I agree. Dead not sleeping. I really do. I do think we are at the point though where there's going to be some damage done if recovery is even possible at this point. Unfortunately. You genuinely hate feeling this way towards people. I do too. Yeah, I'm here for the, you know, the growth. No problem, Bex. Thank you so much for coming in. I probably missed you by now, but sleep well. Think Rachel has potential. She just needs to take a break and do some deep introspection. Yeah, and that's what I recommended too. Just take some time. But the problem is, and actually very similarly to Amber, is that she doesn't want to take the break because of the money. It's all about the money. And when you are so money focused, taking a break is difficult. As is, she's coming off a huge hypocrite, 100%. Totally agree with that. If the Lolcows would change for the better, their channels would blow up. I think they would too. I really do. I think the impression that I get with Amber is that she thinks she's got nothing else to offer, but I think people would love it. I really do. If they tried, they wouldn't be Lolcows. Ooh, very true. A paradox, it seems. Rachel isn't in too deep yet. No, she's not. You feel the same way about Eugenia. It's sad. You just can't live that long with that. Yeah. It would be, I'm going to get into this, Fire Rabbit, you'll see it because it'll be the members only as we get deeper into the medical conditions. The issues with Eugenia will be on a brain level and on an organ level, and that is difficult to come back from. Okay, she has a philosophy degree and she's doubling down on everything. Is she capable of introspection? That's the serious question. Not snark. Yes, I've had the same thought. I think so. I don't think she's stupid. Like, she's clearly got the ability for thought. I think she just needs a little bit of life experience, which this could give her if she was open to it. Is Rachel the lolcow that tries? You almost lost your life in a Eugenia way. You've had to step back on that one. It's terrifying. Yeah. It's rough. It's really, really rough.
That Amber has absolutely done. She stole Casey's coming out story. Anybody who she spends time with, she starts speaking and laughing just like them. So I think back then, when she first started her channel, she was just trying to be like Crystal. Crystal had this interesting, quote unquote, interesting, quirky diagnosis. And I think Amber...
This is ironic because Rachel is also trying to be someone. It's not necessarily someone that she's mimicking in her life, but it's the idea of someone, a wise, philosophical someone that she's trying to mimic. So this is ironic.
Amber wanted to have it too. She thought that it made Crystal special. She wanted to be special. So I think that's why she keeps going on about it in the early stages of her YouTube channel. But more recently, when Amber discusses her OCD, she tends to do it with reference to two different things, her cleanliness and her excoriation. So when Amber first brings OCD back up in her recent live streams, she hasn't mentioned it in several months, but she does mention it in this live stream here. So this is the live, it's called You'll Never Believe This. It's from about 6 days ago. And in this live, Amber discusses her excoriation, and she claims that she does this skin picking because of her OCD.
I have had excoriation since I was a little girl. A lot of people don't know what that is. So I'm going to explain it to you. It is a mental illness related to obsessive compulsive disorder. Excoriation disorder, which is commonly known as I can't say that word, is a mental disorder on the obsessive compulsive spectrum.
But the issue, of course, is that Amber doesn't seem to have a diagnosis of OCD, and instead she uses it as an excuse to try and explain away all of the marks on her skin. So photos from a previous live stream, I'll put the photo here, I imagine it will be in the thumbnail, were shared all over Girl World. So these pictures kind of went, Girl World viral of Amber's arms. Credit to Despectful Moments on Instagram.
That's what my hands and arms look like at the moment. Miss Florence is broody again, and she is very displeased with the fact that I feel like she needs to come off the nest at intervals in the day to hydrate and eat. And so, yeah, I have pecks all over my hands and arms at the moment. Rachel gives pick me, but in philosophy. That is a very astute observation. I like that. You're sure she picks at them? Yeah, bedbug itch. But if it is, yes. Funny, very funny. I see what you're doing there. Yeah, to start dinner, no problem. When Amber's pick pops up on her shoulder with the devil horns, you're waiting for Emily with a halo on the other side. That's hilarious. Absolutely, you're 48 and always working on doing the best you can. And if you can't, you go to the hospital, you're in therapy and psych weekly. Yeah. You have beat the odds. I can only imagine what that took and how much of a fighting spirit you have, RBL. I think you should be really proud of that. I mean that.
And that's where I got this picture from. You can see that these marks, which she claims are due to her cat scratching her and then her picking her skin or whatever, are due to her having excoriation, which Amber claims she has because of her OCD. I'm not going to argue about whether or not the marks come from cat scratching or from bed bugs, because that whole thing is just so crazy. What I am interested in is why Amber always insists on blaming her problems on some kind of diagnosis, which I think she does not have. Just to be really clear here, I have no idea if Amber actually has OCD or not. My point is not that she doesn't have it. My point is that she has not been diagnosed with it. If you go back over Amber's channel, many of the times when she's brought up her OCD generally over the years, it's almost always because she's trying to explain these marks on her arms, which if you look, she's had for a really long time. I suppose it doesn't really matter where the actual marks come from, whether it's like the cat scratching or bed bugs or whatever. What's more interesting is the fact that she blames them on OCD. She goes on to talk about OCD even more, mentioning therapy as well.
Like, my mom has seen me deal with this. Like, as a little girl, I would get, I'm like getting itchy thinking about this, and it's like making me like sick. As a little girl, I would get like mosquito bites, and then eventually they would turn into scabs. Like, this is just something that I have always dealt with. I have talked to you guys about this on my channel for literally ever. It is an obsessive compulsive thing that I have never been able to heal from. I have talked to therapists, I have talked to psychologists.
You pick at yourself when your anxiety gets really bad. You don't realize that you're doing it sometimes. I'm the same. I'm not consciously doing it either. And both your cat and partners will distract you from it. That's so cute. I have to keep my hands busy. Like if I'm sitting watching a movie or something like that, I need to be doing something with my hands so that I don't get distracted. So, like crochet, knitting, embroidery, whatever the flavor is at the time. But yeah, it keeps the hands doing something so that they don't do something I don't want them to. It's just such a weird claim to fame though, like to say, you know, to identify as somebody with excoriation. I don't know. It is a bad habit. It really is. And clearly yours is a self-soothing as well. And yeah, I get that. You make jewelry or draw. Yes. Yes. Exactly. It helps to keep the hands busy.
Just all they can say is find coping mechanisms.
We will talk more about Amber's attitude towards therapy later in the video, but it's really clear from this clip alone that Amber doesn't engage meaningfully with therapy at all for any of the conditions that she may or may not have. More on the therapy stuff later. The point is that this excoriation, which Amber seems to be quite embarrassed of, is one of the things that she excuses with this OCD claim. Not that she needs to excuse it at all, but she clearly feels like she does, because that is what
5 years, Fire Rabbit. Rock on. That's amazing. Well done. Rhinestones. So many rhinestones.
she has done. So the excoriation is not the only reason that Amber brings up her OCD. In the following live stream, this one here, she goes into it extensively. Now this is her most recent live at the time of me filming this video. It's called The Sink is My Best Friend. It's in this live stream here.
Sorry to keep pausing. I just wanted to say that there are a handful of you that are, over the year that I've been doing this, I've gotten the opportunity to learn more and more about, and every single one of you just amazes me with the like indomitable fighting spirit that you have and the amazing paths that you've walked, and the fact that you're willing to share them as well. And I am in awe of some of my nuggets, and yeah, it's just truly amazing. Fire Rabbit officially on that list. Amazing.
That she once again calls on her OCD as an excuse for her strange activities, namely in the shower. So during this live, Amber spends a really long time, around about 10 minutes, just describing to the audience what her shower routine is.
Who has a whole stack of washcloths? I use 3 per shower. 1 for the bits, 1 for the body, and 1 for like, once it's all clean, like round 2, but like a quick round where it's everywhere. I have very particular shower habits. Do 1 for the bits, 1 for the rest of your body, and then like, what the fuck? I'm drawing a blank. Like exfoliate your whole body. But yeah, I like to use like regular soap for the bits and then the whole body. My 3rd round is like an exfoliating type of soap, and that's just like a quick everywhere. So I have to be very particular the way that I do things to prevent, you know, bacteria and infections and more cellulitis and this and that. That sounds like an OCD ritual. I totally get it. I have a lot of rituals throughout the day. That's what I consider, you know, I've talked to you guys about my cleaning rounds, and it's very like particular, and that's just like another kind of example of a ritual that I do. People think I was joking when I said I got diagnosed with OCD. Like, you guys see the scars on my arms from my excoriation. That's due to OCD.
It's quite clear to me that once again, she's using OCD as something that she can point at to try and explain away one of the criticisms that she faces, which is that she's not very clean. Her argument is basically, you guys think I'm not very clean. You're totally wrong. I have OCD, therefore I must be clean. This comment underneath this video really made me laugh. Somebody writes, the way she talks about showering is like if an alien was visiting Earth for the first time and was trying to fit in with humans. It's quite funny and very accurate. She just goes on and on and on about it. And with Amber, the more she talks about something, the more vapid detail she gives, the more it seems like she's lying. But more interesting even than this is when in this live, Amber once again brings up her OCD and she says this.
So people don't understand like what actual like obsessive thoughts and obsessive like OCDs are. And for some reason, out of everything that I struggle with, my obsessive habits or my OCDs are the one thing that I genuinely have the hardest time talking about.
But you'll notice that Amber says in this clip that she finds it really hard to talk about her OCD. Now, I suspect that this is because she knows so little about actual OCD and how it actually affects people who really do have it, because she in fact does not have it. I think she doesn't like talking about it because she knows that the more she talks, the more clear it is that she in fact hasn't got it. Anyway.
This is such a joke to be watching. She's really going hard at this. I expected it. I don't know, it's worse than I expected. You have way too much to lose in your life, and you had to fall a long way before realizing it. Never again. I understand that. I don't know about you, Fire Rabbit, but my issues have not been substance, but there's still like a rock bottom, and I found that my rock bottom indeed had a basement. That was fun. I don't know if you experienced something like that, but it's humbling for sure. Generally, when people start giving more info than is needed, they're lying about something. Yes, I agree. They think they're convincing people, but it's just cringe. Yeah. I think that's something really wonderful, Fire Rabbit, about this community that we're building together, that it does seem to be a very warm, very accepting, supportive group of people. And it seems like people that are contrary to that get weeded out quite rapidly by everybody else, and I really like that. So I think you can expect that here. The freeze frames. Keep making me giggle about those. I'm not doing it on purpose. Yeah, addiction runs in my family too. It's one of the biggest reasons that I'm a teetotaler. That I think there's enough evidence to say that it's in my family that I don't want to even begin to, go down that route. You think she's trying so hard not to say my philosophy degree, that there's a short circuiting and this is what we're left with? You could be so right, Mother of Baggins. There is something lost, isn't there? It's very kind of flat, just a straight delivery of facts, and the facts aren't wrong. They're not. Everything she's saying is correct. And it's well researched, you can give her that. But, yeah.
This mention here of OCD and cleanliness is kind of ironic because we know that according to many of Amber's exes, her cleanliness and, self-hygiene is actually very, very poor. We know that she leaves pee pads for her dogs around the house. She kicked off when Emily asked her to wipe the sink down after she used it for her personal toilet business. And her ex Destiny is even on record as saying that Amber smells like swamp ass. Now, I'm not trying to shame Amber for her hygiene because I know that at her size, it's probably really difficult to keep clean. But the thing is, you can't impose that on other people. You need to do something about it. You can't be gross and unclean in other people's houses, and you certainly can't lie about having OCD to try and deflect from the fact that you can't wipe your own ass. The point I'm trying...
Yeah, regarding the whole washcloth thing, I hope you understand, and I'm not at all judging anyone that thinks it's funny. I really understand, because Amber has been an absolutely horrendous human being, and I get that. I don't want to discuss the washcloth thing just because I worry that, there's a lot of differently abled people in the world that find different ways of coping. And I do get that the funny thing with Amber is that it's like she was stealing the washcloths and they were going missing and expecting other people to wash them and all that. But I want to be really mindful to not single anybody out that might be listening that does do unorthodox things to keep clean, because I imagine that keeping that kind of engine clean would be very difficult. You're terrified of taking pain pills. Fortunately, your uncle turned you into a gamer, so you miss substances. Gaming is one of my vices as well. I'm right there with you. And I need to watch it, particularly when I get stressed. You feel like Rachel is just picking... What is MH? I'm trying to think. Issues apart. ALR has issues, we know that, but this is just too much. Yeah. Addiction runs in your family too. And you avoid alcoholic drinks out of principle. Yeah, I understand that. You don't like the washcloth stuff? It's gotten really tacky, yeah. You love gaming, it's your stress relief? Yeah, same. Oh, mental health. Thank you. Yes. Gotcha. I mean, yeah, but see, what makes it different though? Because I do that too. So what is she doing that's different? And I really think it just boils down to what we've all just gone through in the last few weeks with her. Your new vice is nail art. Oh, fun. Super fun. I get that, because it requires a lot of focus and a lot of finesse. I like doing my nails too, but I don't do art. They're always just black.
Trying to make is that this kind of broad claim that Amber makes of having OCD is, in my view, simply Amber trying to make it sound like she's a clean person, because she has a very rudimentary, basic TikTok understanding of what OCD is, and she...
Yes, it's malicious because she's too close. Exactly. That's exactly the point. This is why she shouldn't have been doing Amber stuff anymore.
He thinks OCD equals being clean, which of course it's so much more than that. In fact, in the past, when discussing OCD, Amber has claimed that she also suffers with contamination anxiety.
I'm afraid of sink water. I feel like it's contaminated, even if it's filtered. I know it's just my contamination OCD, so please ignore that.
She blames this also on her OCD, but I think it's painfully clear that she just wants to be quirky and unique. This is why I found it so ironic when later on in this live stream, Amber says this.
OCD isn't, oh my god, all of my markers have to be lined up perfectly. That could be a part of your OCD, but that's more so you just like to be organized. OCD isn't, oh, my sink has to be cleaned after I wash my dishes. No, you're just a cleanly person.
This is kind of funny because Amber spent years of her life on YouTube doing exactly this, calling these quirky behaviours OCD. She'd say things like, I'm so OCD, I have to pay my bills on time, when in fact she didn't even bloody have it. She certainly didn't have a diagnosis of it then, and we know that as a fact because she's admitted it herself. Amber lied about having OCD as a way to deflect from the claims against her that she has poor personal hygiene, and to make herself seem unique and quirky and interesting, and to give herself an identity. Well, to steal the identity from her then girlfriend Crystal. Those are the reasons that I think Amber might have lied about the OCD thing in the first place. But let's get on now to another point that I kind of want to cover, which is the damage of lying about something like this. So I know people might ask me, like, why do you care? Why does it matter? If she wants to say that she's got something that she doesn't have, then who cares? Can't she self-diagnose, etc., etc.? And no, as I understand it, self-diagnosis of OCD is not valid, mainly because, as we know, it could be OCPD, but also lots of these kind of diagnoses have overlapping symptoms. So you kind of have to see a professional so they can talk to you at length and work out, oh, have you got that or have you got that? And kind of whittle it down. We are often not the best judges of our own behaviour as well. So I don't think that self-diagnosis of OCD is valid. I think, unless like there's loads of research about that being completely valid that I just haven't seen, I don't know. As I understand it, it's not ideal to self-diagnose with OCD.
So she just set up a question there, asking herself or asking her audience, why do I care? But she didn't answer that bit. That was the bit I was waiting for her to answer. You'll say it again. She said she is a former fat girl. Her words, she said the behaviors with Emily were dangerous, and then she engaged in this behavior and called us stupid. Girl. Yeah. Very well said, Mother of Baggins. Ooh, maximalist nails. Wow. The Northern Lights. That's fun. That's really fun. One day your eyes are going to roll into the back of your head and get stuck there. Hey, Fashion Made Live. I really, really appreciated your answer, by the way. I don't know if you've watched my last video. You are in it. Addiction doesn't run in your family, but you live in LA, where there's lots of wannabes who move there thinking doing drugs will make them cool and famous. Yeah. But it's funny, I started not drinking, as a teenager out of teenage rebellion because all of my friends were doing it. And, quirky girl over here wanted to be different. So my different became not drinking and not partaking in everything. And then when you start doing that and you start to grow up, you kind of realize what people are doing to themselves because you get to see it all without being intoxicated, and it stuck. And then I appreciated that I didn't start it because of what I know about my family. I don't know why she's going so hard on this. It's a bit weird. Yeah, I'd love to see them too. Hey, can you put up a picture on my community thing? I wonder if it'll let you do that. Because I think that's what it's for. If you wanted to. You don't have to. I'm just saying. Oh, you haven't seen my last... Yeah, I did blow your name, just because I'm doing that as par for course now. I prefer to do that. But yeah, I really appreciated it. For everyone who isn't sure, this is the amazing Lawyer Nugget. Fashion Made Live. Oh, you did? You posted? Oh, I want to see. Where's my thing? Too many tabs. Refresh. No. Oh, wait. Yay! Look at that. That's so pretty. And you said they glow in the dark? RBL, I will not be doing a Discord. No Discords over here. That's so nice. There's more. Oh! Oh my gosh. That's so beautiful. I love this community thing. So this is just here now. We can all talk to each other. It's just that it's public. That's all. So bear in mind what you're saying. It's not private, Nuggets, okay? It's not a private space. Hey, Giselle, hello. But yeah, nail art can go up on my post. Absolutely. This is why I made it public. It was an option for me, so you can share things with the community on here. Again, I'll just reiterate, the only thing that I've got there is that if you put a link, it's going to ask for me to approve it before it goes through. No, it's free. It's just on my, what am I trying to do? So if you go to my channel, see, there's not a, there's the post tab. Actually, I wonder if that goes to it too. Okay, so my posts stay posts, but then there's a visit community button, and that's where you can see it go newest, and it's there. You think influencers should have a fan Discord that they personally participate in? Yeah, I'm just so uncomfortable with Discord. I'd rather not. Oh, should not. Gotcha. Very different meaning there, Greta. Just saying. Yeah, I don't like it personally. It's not a thing that I want to get into. Yeah, and I don't think it's Discord's fault. Like, it's just, I think it's just the way it's structured. It's so difficult to monitor all of it. And then you get the wrong person in there, and all of a sudden, say if it's my Discord, it's under my name and under my consent. And like, I don't want to hand that over. It's not okay. I have too many tabs open. Ah, there we go.
But either way, if your goal as an individual is to try and grow and be honest with yourself, then constantly hiding behind imaginary diagnoses that you don't really have, that you use as an excuse for your behaviour, kind of stops you from tackling like the real problem that you may or may not have, which is obviously not ideal. But it isn't just that. It's also like super upsetting and offensive to people who do actually have OCD. For example, I saw this comment underneath Amber's video. Somebody writes, not her making light of OCD habits in others. Amber has shown many, many times that she doesn't like talking about her OCD, and she only brings it up or wants to talk about it when it benefits her or when she can use it as a deflection. But also, Amber clearly doesn't know very much about OCD. Whenever she's asked about it and it's not her own choice to bring it up, she always says she doesn't want to talk about it or she finds it hard to talk about. Now, this could be true. It could be that she has a formal diagnosis of OCD and OCPD and she doesn't like talking about it, but that doesn't really seem to fit in with Amber's way of being. She seems to love talking about herself and love talking about her diagnoses. And I suspect, as I've kind of already touched on in this video, that part of the reason she doesn't like talking...
Oh, sorry, Giselle, I missed that. Wait. Refresh. Oh my gosh. I love those. Who have you got? You've got Chucky, Ghostface. I don't know all their names. Oh, the Saw. Oh wow. Are they the same on both of your hands? It's amazing. This is art. Jason, yes. That's phenomenal. I'm not posting a picture of mine. I'm really not. No, I've been outclassed. Those are amazing. Michael Myers, thank you. Oh, Greta, this is my community, my new community thing. It's a new YouTube thing, and it's just a tab now on my channel. That's amazing. See, the thing is, in my life, I've always instinctively done the opposite of what my mother likes. So she likes pointy-toed shoes. I like rounded or square-toed shoes. She's always worn her fingernails really long and pointy, and I can't stand seeing that on myself. So I have really, really short square nails. It's just this instinctive thing that I've always done growing up. And so there's not a lot of real estate. They're just black. Nothing exciting. And can I just highlight right now my nuggets? This is much more interesting than watching Rachel's video. What does that say? Oh, I definitely encourage posting your pets, but if you want to post your pets, I will require their name, their age, and a really fun, quirky fact about them, please. I want to feel like I know your pet. Hey, Chaz, hello, welcome. Not a lot of real estate, yeah. You did the thing? You can post, but definitely post Baggins. Did you dress him up for Halloween? Yeah, absolutely. Post your pets if you want to. Just tell me to refresh if I miss it. Hang on, I gotta go new. Yeah. What a fun little section. I love this. I do have like automatic censorship on it, so don't use bad words. Hey Marshmallow, in your absence, we got distracted by nail art. Thank you, RBL. I am not going to take credit for this community because I feel like we've all built it together. I don't think this is... I don't think I can take all the credit for that. You started it, Fire of It. Yes, a true trendsetter. It really is. And it's about to be pet o'clock. Okay, I'll go back to Rachel. Tell me if you do things and I'll try not to miss it. Oh, wrong tab.
Talking about it is because she knows nothing about it. She says in this video here when she's asked that she doesn't like talking about it because people get annoyed with her when she mentions it.
I wanted to ask about your OCD that you are diagnosed with. I was wondering why you rarely talk about it anymore in recent memory. I know you are open about your BPD and those struggles. I'm just wondering why any of your other diagnoses don't get that attention, or is it like a personal reason, or... But thank you.
It's because of the backlash. Like, anyone in my personal life knows the things that I deal with to an extent. But like now, sometimes like I catch myself just saying my anxieties, like my contamination anxieties. And I know that it's a lot further than that. And there's things that I do that a lot of people would not believe me if I spoke about it. And to me, it's something that like I genuinely deal with constantly.
Can I just say, is anybody paying attention to this? Because I feel so disconnected from it. I'm so bored. I kind of want to skip to the end to see if she addresses anything, which is kind of the point. I mean, I doubt it, but I don't want to call her video boring. It's not about that. It's just because I know that a lot of work goes into it. I don't want to impugn her efforts. It's just that with the context that we have, it's difficult to focus on it. You subbed earlier today. Oh, does it have a timer on it? So I guess that prevents spamming where you subscribe and then immediately. Interesting. She's a narcissist. She's taking a lot for having credibility. Yes. Talking a lot, sorry, for having credibility. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let me just go to the end and just see if she says anything. And
Pretty sure I did. Amber says something about how she's scared to go to therapy because she doesn't want to have to face this part of herself. And Emily's saying, yeah, but you have to, basically. And it's quite obvious that Amber has never really wanted to have meaningful therapy, and she admits it in this live here. So not only is her behaviour horrendous and she's absolutely awful, she's not even trying to fix it. I think that if Amber even has like 10% of the mental health diagnoses that she's claimed over the years, she absolutely should be in like regular, good quality therapy. But she clearly thinks that she doesn't need to be. I also noticed this comment on her recent live where somebody says you lie to yourself the most, and I absolutely agree. I think that that is one of the most powerful, simple insights of Amber generally. Not only is she lying to us, her viewers, she actually believes, I think, that she has this stuff. I think the reason she says it so confidently is because she thinks it's true. There's been multiple times on her channel where she said things like, it's just so obvious. It's so obvious that I have BPD. It's so obvious that I have OCD. And that makes it very clear, I think, or very likely anyway, that she's self-diagnosing. She's saying, well, it's obvious. Of course I have it. And I think that that is the root of her self-diagnosis. But because...
You are all distracting me, okay? I'm like playing the video and then just looking at my chat. You don't have nail art, but sometime you'll upload a photo of your calluses from from weightlifting. That's hilarious. You're a beginner and you love how strong you're getting. That's awesome. And you should wear them like badges. You should be proud of it. You post them as soon as you can. Love it, Nutty. Please send. Think you want to challenge yourself to make them just for the heck of it. Even if you can't wear them. Yeah, just to get some pics. It's about the doing of it though, right? It's about the art form. You posted your noodle, baby. Oh, hang on. Okay, there's two. Druid. He's a 14-month-old ball python that I bred myself. His interesting fact is that he got his name because it's written. Is it really written on his side in his patterns? That's so cool. He's beautiful. He's so gorgeous. And clank. Thank you, Alex. Who is Alex in here? What is your... Oh, dead not sleeping. Gotcha. Okay. Clank, 3 years old, picked him up from the streets as a kitten. Oh, he still craves garbage. Oh, he's a little trash kitty. Very social though, and he has flown more than some humans. Friend to chicken. I like that. Oh, Clank is beautiful. Is sleeveless vest. Okay, you guys haven't been introduced to Miss Brittany yet. Brittany is an Ixworth chicken, which is actually a really rare breed, but their feathers are so incredibly soft and silky that they break really easily. And their feathers are essentially their armor, right? And so as a result, I made her a little denim jacket that she has to wear. At this point, watching Rachel is like is like that TV that's on in the doctor's waiting room. We can hear it, but no one's watching. Everybody's just chatting. I don't think she's going to address anything. There's a tiny bit. I will play it just so we can say we watched it. One of my influencers had a Patreon. We had so many threads with all sorts of crafts and animals and everything. Oh. I'm very interested in seeing people's crafts as well. I can't express to you how many hobbies I have, how many things I can do. It's obscene, the amount. And I'd love to see what you create as well. You posted Baggins? I have seen Adam's Family Values. One moment, please. Oh, there's more. Wait. Oh. All I ever wanted was a ballerina Baggins. Oh. That is adorable, Mother of Baggins. And do you see in Mother of Baggins's little emoji avatar icon, he's sitting there with a little bow tie. It's adorable. And making you consider reviving your channel. It's from when you started out, and you should. This is Kaiser. He's 10 years old and he loves to go on adventures to the park. His fun fact is that he's leash trained. You do end up carrying him a lot though. Oh, who is Chelsea? It's frustrating that the names are different. Oh, Ches, gotcha. Okay, awesome. Oh, beautiful. He's gorgeous. Oh, this is fun, guys. I love this. Okay, we're gonna finish this, okay? Look, there's like 3 minutes left, less than 3 minutes, and I've got it on 1.5. We're gonna do it.
because she lies to herself generally. You can't diagnose yourself if you lie to yourself. You can't diagnose yourself anyway, but it's definitely not a great method if, you know, you have potentially loads of different things all fighting with each other and your behaviour affects your pets and your family members and your partners. You need to get in therapy and get real diagnoses. I don't know what's worse, the fact that she lies to herself or the fact that she lies to her audience, but I think either way, with her channel, she's trying to keep up this appearance of somebody who wants to do the work and is trying to do the work, but it doesn't seem like she actually is doing it at all. Hearing Amber say that therapy is just venting was like kind of one of the most disheartening things I've ever heard Amber say, because I want to see Amber work on herself, right? I don't want to make videos about Amber for however long and then she just never changes, never grows, and the season finale happens and she never did the work. But I'm also kind of losing hope because seeing her say things like, you know, therapy is just venting, I'm not going to pay for that, kind of makes you think like, oh fuck, we really might be wasting our time here. Amber saying to us, her audience and her viewers generally, that
Does that statement imply that she's trying to help Amber? Is that what she thinks she's doing here? Is that what she thinks by releasing all of those screenshots? Is this, like, in her mind, a tough love thing? And Fire Rabbit, you did not hijack the stream. No, it's great. I love this, and we all share these passions, so I think it's awesome. I'm always happy to, like, move where you want to move. But this is a weird take, right? And see, here's the thing. While sometimes I will address my comments to Amber because I know that Amber knows who I am and it's Amber, so it's likely that she's probably watching. But I am not in any way, shape or form thinking that I'm going to help Amber or Eugenia. I really don't. I don't think that I have that kind of power. What I am hoping to do is use these women as illustrations, and this one also, currently on screen, use them as illustrations of how we can reflect in our own lives and help ourselves. So in essence, what I'm hoping to do is help whoever needs it. It's kind of like this splattergun effect, and I figure the right person will hear the right thing at the right time, and that might make them go, oh, right, that makes sense, and then it's worth it. But the way she's phrasing this here, it sounds like she's trying to help Amber. And how exactly? By being a mean girl? By flirting with her ex? Is that how she's going to help Amber? Sorry for copying and pasting your nails. No, you should absolutely celebrate each other's skills. Not Rachel Lynn having a savior complex. It's looking that way. That's what she thinks. It's very much holier than thou. Do you know what, Fire Rabbit? I've had exactly those words thrown at me. You think it's kind of a similar shtick to a lot of reactors who speak directly to the girl and give unsolicited advice, and it gets super weird and overfamiliar. There is a lot of heavy and negative stuff in Girl World, yeah, and it's nice to be a bit lighter. It is. I'm sure that we're all dealing with our own little thing at the moment, and it is nice to come together, be positive. Everything Rachel says has just lost so much credibility, and it seems disingenuous. Yep, after those Discord messages about the money. Yes, it really does. It really, really does. Maybe this is the tack she's trying to take. Maybe she's like, oh, well, I want to show you that I'm not all about the money. I'm about the greater good. I'm about fixing people. You've left most of the reactors you used to watch. Wow. Were they all surrounding this particular incident? Because I don't know about you, but I do move in and out of flavors of reactors and who I will watch. These days I don't have a lot of time to watch a lot of them, but I do still move around a little bit. She made it worse by not taking actual accountability fully. Yes. You're really enjoying the positivity and sense of community in here. Me too. Me too. Very much. Vera, thank you for opening up your mind, opinion, conversation, and love. You're welcome. It's what I'm trying to do. I try to, I know that I'm not a big channel yet. I do get that, but I'm trying to stay grounded to those roots and remember why I'm here. And that's why I'm here. You've discovered a lot of small reactors thanks to all this. So at least, yeah, I know there's a few good ones, isn't there? Because I've been seeing there's a few channels that have shouted me out, but it's been like in a group of a few new channels, and it sounds like they're doing a really good job. I haven't had an opportunity to check them out yet, but that's awesome.
She has a diagnosis that she doesn't have.
1
It's pretty
minute.
shitty and harmful because she's lying to her audience, but
We
also
can
she's
do
lying
it.
to herself, and she can't move forward and have treatment for a diagnosis that she doesn't even have. I guess she's kind of like getting in her own way on that front. The main thing is, though, she needs to stop lying about diagnoses. It's not cute, it's not quirky, it doesn't help her or anyone. She doesn't give useful, insightful content about the diagnoses that she has. She just uses them as a massive excuse. And I just think it needs to stop. It's really gross. Saying you have OCD when you don't, when you've got people in your audience who actually do have OCD and really struggle with it, I just think it's pretty unhelpful, to be honest, and she needs to like stop doing that. Those are my thoughts about Amber and the OCD lies. Let me know if
Saying you have philosophy when you don't is really gross, and you need to stop saying that.
you have OCD and you care about Amber lying about it. Does it matter to you? What are your thoughts? I'd be very interested to see that. I'm going to leave that video there. Hopefully I'll be back to uploading more regularly now. I went away to Liverpool for a while. I had the best time ever. I love Liverpool. Such a cool city. Brilliant place. Got stuck in very bad match day traffic. Rookie error. But yeah, that was great. Thank you guys.
Oh, that was a bad look. I went away for a while. I went to Liverpool and had a great time. No. No. The correct thing to say there would have been, I took some time. I am back now. I needed to do some reflecting and connect to why I'm here and what it is that I want to do. And I'm looking forward to the future and moving forward with all of you. Oh, God. You can't write this stuff. Anyway, we did it. Well done, Nuggets. Well done. I'm sorry. Oh, comments. I tried to focus there in that last minute. I really tried. 1 moment. I'm catching up. We're a fun group. We are a fun group. Not a big channel yet is exactly right. Oh, there's been really steady growth, like really steady. I'm very pleased with what I've managed to achieve. And like I said in my birthday stream, I was hoping for 1,000 at a year. I did a lot better than that, thanks to all of you. Girl World in general? Okay, so yeah, a lot of them. You still mod for Dr. Phil? I don't know that one. But you can't take excessive drama and overreacting. Yeah. No need to get super spicy about it, yeah. Same, the algorithm has been showing you small new channels. That's awesome. Charlie Gold had a bunch of... Yes, I saw that Charlie Gold live stream. I was there. I'm annoyed because I have a really bad habit of watching everything on my private channel, like on my private account. And then when somebody shouts me out, like if I'm there, I have to go change accounts and go, thank you so much. It's annoying. Will I ever do a face reveal? Look, I have thought about it. I can definitively tell you it is not going to be while my mother is alive, because there are greater ramifications. She has exhibited a lot of stalking behavior, and she had found all of my old social media, the ones that I closed a few years ago. And yeah, so given the content that I discuss here and the things that I've said about her, I don't want her knowing that they've been said. And I also don't want my dad to find out what was really happening, because he doesn't know. And I don't want him to wish that he had have fought harder, or it's not right. So no time soon. It's not you guys though. It's not. Your favorite new find is Just Pink. I'll have to check them out, Greta. You get really productive. Oh, you get really protective of your influences. You sit. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm a bit the same. She's from Michael B. Petty and Zachary Michael days. Oh wow. Okay, I'll have to check it out. The last freeze frame. I went to Liverpool long enough for my weird girl shit to be delivered. It is all icky now. Rachel wants validation against ALR and is distracting. It's gross. I'm still embarrassed. I endorsed her. Don't be embarrassed. I think we all misjudged a little bit there. Just had a holiday while wiping my tears with banknotes. Oh my gosh. You're a toxic mum too. Yeah, it can get rough. She's like rummaged through rubbish and things like that. It's just it gets weird. And at the moment, I'm quite far away from her logistically, but it's not something I want to invite. Thank you so much for the subscription, Rainbow. The Rainbow bit me. I love your name. Beware, there's a whole estranged parent community out there that's basically a stalking parent support community. I have heard about that. It's largely on TikTok. I mean, it's not the end of the world if it happens, because she can't really get to me. I'm in a very closed community and protected in that way, and even if she did, like, I don't know, it doesn't do anything. It's annoying. I don't want the drama here. Be safe with that. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you need to see my face either. I don't think my face adds to my personality or takes in any way. Don't feel any pressure from you to dox. I don't, but thank you for saying that. Understood. It's not support sense, more of a, hey, let's oh, they're sharing tips on stalking kids. Wow. Look up doormat mum. I might do that. Fashion? Thank you. I will write that down after the stream. No, I'll write that down now because I will clucking forget that. Sorry, I'm making noise. There's noise. Noise. What was it? Doormat mom. That might be an interesting rabbit hole. It's late, no problem. Oh, you're enjoying the commentary. Thank you so much. Gonna turn the screen off. Well, there's not much to look at now other than a freeze frame of Rachel, so go ahead and just listen to my dulcet tones. Charlie Gold is one. Oh, sorry, porcelain. Yeah, no, I've gotcha. It's tricky sometimes to maintain multiple conversations in one brain. Loud noises. I'll make me scream at my screen in 3 registers. Yeah, I have heard that there's quite a movement on TikTok where basically millennials are realizing how shit their parents were, and then there's backlash from their parents saying that the kids are ungrateful, which is absolutely, if you spoke to my mother, what she would say about me. That sounds nuts. You haven't spoken to your mother in 4+ years. Can't imagine what you'd do if she found out she was stalking you. Yeah. There's been more. So she's rummaged through the rubbish. She's gone and stood outside the door, and like we've caught her on, camera just staring at the door and smoking. And where we can't prove it, but we're relatively sure that there's been private investigators, and it's just, I don't know. And the reason I'm on high alert is because this stuff tends to flare up more when there's an event, and my grandmother passing is an event, and the funeral is next week, so it's not over yet, unfortunately. It's been a week since I talked to you all last. You're a millennial who had shit parents, your mum especially. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that generation. There's something wrong. I'm sure not everybody. Good night. Oh, no, Aloe's going. No, I've got you. Okay. Doggies need a potty break. Your mum's the same. She's getting a little better with age because she's realizing how much she needs your help. It is bizarre. I don't know. It used to bother me more than it does now, but I think now I feel very protective of this quiet little space that I've created in my life, and I don't want drama being brought into it by somebody who's not invited. I feel very, very protective of it. Yeah, actually, holidays can be rough with no contact family. I was actually thinking, Dead Not Sleeping, you reminded me, I was thinking about doing a no Christmas stream either for people who aren't able to be with their loved ones or people that don't celebrate Christmas. And I thought we could, like, for a very extended period of time, binge watch Girl World videos. Tell me what you think about that. I'm playing with the idea, I'm not sure yet. You caught some of my story the other night. I'm safe. They're not physically threatening. It's all just drama. I'm fortunate in that way. Friendsgiving. Oh. Your brother went no contact with her? Yeah. It just took us a long time to realize being a feral latchkey kid that wasn't allowed to show emotions. Oh my gosh, didn't make for the healthiest adult survivors. That's so true. It is so true. And I don't know about you, but I had a weird kind of dichotomy happening where she was both incredibly overprotective and overbearing while also managing to be completely neglectful. I don't know how those two things go together, but they did. That sounds fun. You would love that? Yeah, I'll think on it some more because I do have a family function, but it is during the day on Christmas and I'm ahead of most of you. So if I was to start it when I got back, that would be like, I think Christmas morning for most people. Or no, actually it'd be Christmas Eve and then we could go all the way through. There's Clucker to do Christmas Day if you aren't seeing people. Yeah, it's true. It is a paradox. It really is. And it's very confusing to reconcile. I had a therapist actually pop in to answer that in my comment section once, where they theorized that it's like they're trying to act as the perfect parent, but when acting as the perfect parent conflicts with the narcissism, that's when you get the contrary effect. Most of us millennials are now doing their best to undo, yes, reparenting ourselves, mistreating ways. You're down, Lucy? Good. Narcissism makes people treat their family members like props. Yes, and I was a china doll, like a porcelain doll. Therefore, gotta look good for other people, but when it really matters for you, they're not really interested. Yeah, that's pretty much how I've reconciled it. It's called unpredictable parenting, and it's such a traumatic form of mental and emotional torture from narcissistic people. Yes, Ches. So we're being a lot gentler in our parenting than our parents were to us. Porcelain, I parent my chickens better than I was parented. I get them, and I like let them be themselves and show their own little personalities, and then I treasure and celebrate those little personalities, whatever they may be, even if they are contrary to what I would prefer. I didn't get that as a human child. My oldest just moved into his own place a month ago, and you still talk every day. That's awesome. Break the cycle. My parents showed me what not to do. Yeah. Oh, I think, RBL, I think Lucy meant she was down for the Christmas stream. Or at least that's how I interpreted it. I could be wrong. Okay, well, I think we'll give the Amber live a miss. It's just going to be more drivel, I'm sure. She, in a nutshell, for those who haven't seen it, has started up her Cameo, and she justified getting her charging $100 for her Cameo. Because when she had it at $25, there were too many requests to do them. Same when you adopted your cats, you taught them to use buttons to communicate. Oh my gosh. It made you realize that your mum doesn't know how to communicate 2 ways. Yes. Now 110. Which doesn't make sense to me because, you know, like with my Patreon and YouTube memberships, I deliberately made them as low as I can according to Patreon, with the hopes that maybe that would inspire more people. But could you imagine if I put it at like $50? There might be 2 people there, And so overall you're losing out. That it doesn't make economical sense. And I almost wonder if she said, well, when it was at $25, there were too many people, so I will put it at $100 or whatever, and that will quarter the people. But that's not how it works. But I could see how that would be a line of thinking. You are blessed with great parents. Oh, you're still very close. Treasure that. It's special. You're hosting Thanksgiving dinner at your house and you're nervous for it? Oh, I wouldn't be. If they're truly loved ones, they will appreciate you for it. Tell us about the cats with buttons. Everybody wants talking cats. The YouTube membership's worth it. Thank you so much, Fire Rabbit. I think, you know, like, because I was really wrestling with myself about, I don't want to charge because I don't want it to be all about the money, but at the same time, the videos, as you know, Fire Rabbit, they're extremely researched, which means that there's a lot of editing and they take days, sometimes weeks to make. And it's kind of like, I need to be able to justify it to do it in a way because I don't know. I struggled with it, but I settled at making it the lowest I could, and then it would be affordable, and people could if they could, and don't if they couldn't. Amber's got terrible business sense, yes. Patreon memberships can be gifted by other members if they wanted. I think YouTube memberships can be too. Your in-laws are wonderful people. You're grateful to have kind parents through your husband. Yeah, relatable. You have a feeling she needs the money but doesn't actually want to work for it. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Also, hello, Emily. If she can only get a few people suck it in, then she'd be set. I think that's true. I think she wants to do as little work for the most money possible, and she's trying to find where that line is, not factoring that looks really obvious to everybody. Yeah, she did use the excuse that she doesn't get all of the cameo money. She gets about half of it, and that is apparently a downer. Like, you're using a platform. They have a right to charge for it. Is Amber marketing with a "it makes sense if you don't think about it" strategy? Yes. Yes. Your child knows your in-laws because they're wonderful grandparents. Yeah. Hosting is really hard. It's a lot of work. $100 for a 60-second cameo. Yeah, like, but even if she's getting $50, that's $50 a minute. Who of us here earns $50 a minute? I don't know if Eugenia needs to make money. She's still living at home. Her overheads would be very low, and I think there's money there anyway. So I don't think it's as dire. Whereas Amber at least is somewhat independent. You're going to visit some of your husband's family for Thanksgiving. You're so excited. That sounds fun. We don't do Thanksgiving here. It sounds like a fun holiday though. Yeah, I think she comes. I think there's a lot of money there. I really do. She's essentially living like a teenager in that sense. There's no, like, as far as I mean, we're not there, but I believe there's no bills that she would be on the hook for. Everyone's going to your house for Thanksgiving. So you guys essentially have to do Christmas twice, in essence, like a month apart. You just come down from one and then you've got to do the other. I don't really do holidays, and that sounds like a lot of work. You'll be happy about it, but it's exhausting. Yeah, just the cleanup alone and all of the cooking and yeah. Well, I think I'm going to wrap things up. I need to go walk Miss Gwen. She is currently losing weight. She is on a health journey, and I'm very proud of her. She's improving. Basically, Thanksgiving early holiday drama, Christmas late holiday drama. Yeah, my entire mother's side of the family is very problematic, all in their own way. I don't think any of them quite as bad as my mother, but they used to all fight all year and then make up a month before Christmas and then get together and be pleasant. And then by Australia Day, which is late January, they'd be fighting again. It's like, why bother? I don't have any currently accessible on my computer for photos of Gwen, but I will, I might prep some for my next stream. I'm going to just keep this time slot and do it every week. So, yeah, you can catch me next time. You came in at the very last minute. You look forward to watching from the beginning. Be a replay nugget. That's awesome. Yeah, go Miss Gwen. She's doing great. Never thought of Thanksgiving as a second Christmas before, but it kind of is, right? Just without the presents, I'm guessing. Thanks so much, Lucy. Thanks so much, everyone. Glad you caught the live stream. I'm glad you were here too, and to share your absolutely amazing nail art. And the chicken butts, of course. All right. Thank you so much for everyone for being here and being so engaged and talkative, because I'm aware you don't have a face to look at, so I'm always a little nervous about that, but I really appreciate everybody chatting and everybody who is lurking. I can see there's quite a few. Thank you so much. But that is all the clocks I have left to give. Stay golden, my little nuggets, and I'll catch you next week.